We cover true crime and breaking news, bringing the story straight to you. Let's talk with Chris, the show is live, truth in the air, let's take a dive. Cameras rolling, hearts on display, join the convo, what do you say? Be careful in the chat, or my minds will reach out and grab you. Stories flowing, laughs in the mix, deep thoughts and quick-witted kicks. Chris is hosting, keeping it real. Every episode, that's the deal. From the streets to the screen, we break it down. Latest cases spinning round and round. Witnesses talk, evidence speaks, solving puzzles all through the week. Twists and turns in every tale, justice served without fail. Late night calls, urgent alerts, we cover it all, no one gets hurt. True crime lovers, news junkies too, this show's the place just for you. Come hang with us, don't be shy, let's talk with Chris. Reach for the sky, from brutal murders to scandals deep, we bring the truth while the world sleeps. Suspects running, alibi is weak, every secret we gonna see. Missing persons, cold cases cracked, no detail will be left untracked. In the darkness we shine the light, chasing justice through the night. Chat is popping, comments fly, real ones only, no cap, no lie. Mods on standby, keeping it clean. Toxic vibes won't make the scene. Every story got a lesson in it. Stay safe out there, don't you forget it. Let's talk with Chris, the truth we deliver. Best damn show in the game, no filler. Now the plot thickens, the tension builds. Every episode got that thrill. Body cam footage, the raw appeal. Confessions caught on the reel. From small town secrets to city schemes, we expose it all. Living the dream. One more case before we go. Let's talk with Chris. Steal the show.
I can't hear you, Chris. You're muted.
Yeah, I know that's me. That was on me. Come on in, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in, everybody.
There is Devil Dog himself. How's everybody doing today? D. Hudson, Ducci, Carol, Melly, Annie. I'm doing your job, Devil Dog. Virginia, Carol, Robin. Hello, Devil Dog. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, my friend. I'm doing good. Melly, Tucci, Annie, Virginia, Carol. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody.
Can you guys hear us okay in the chat? Give us a thumbs up. Yes, whichever. Ooh, Devil Dog, look. I shaved, man. I feel empty. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get to it today.
Well, I cleared it all. I got rid of the goatee and everything. I was like, whatever.
Looks good, brother.
Oh, hey, thanks.
It looks more respectable.
Hey, I feel empty now, man. I feel, I don't know. So, I hope
it could have been worse.
What?
I said it could have been worse. It could have looked like Opie or something.
What? This is true. This is true. D. Hudson, how are you this morning? Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So just so everybody knows, I'm about 2.5, 3 hours behind. It was a pretty late night last night. I'm not sure how Melly was even here a few minutes ago. She was amongst the late crew last night. So, but yeah. So listen, I have to say, everybody, Melly, how are you awake? You guys, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern time, is Patriot Pride. and you guys have got to tune in for the entire show. I can't say anything about it, but you gotta tune in. Our part of the show, they're gonna do their, and you know how they do their early thing. They come in, do their opening and all that stuff. So, and then we will all be on panel that was involved last night at like 10:30, 10:40. He said. So, guys, you gotta stay for the whole show. You're gonna be blown away. Melly knows all about it, but we can't say anything. It's such a man. Wait the hell till you see it. I cannot wait till tomorrow night. Cases and Conversations. How are you, Michelle? Michelle, tomorrow night, you gotta join Patriot Pride, 10 o'clock. You guys are gonna, it's incredible. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that on, and I'll mention it a few more times because you guys gotta tune in, man. But other than that, hello again, everybody in this wonderful chat. And there's my buddy Devil Dog over there. I'll let him say hello, do his thing, whatever he wants to do, and then off we'll go.
Oh, we're good. We're good. April, everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody here. Let's have a good conversation.
Perfect. Look
No
at that
drama.
Yeah, no. So look at this, guys. Breaking trouble in Maine. Now, I want to talk just a minute on this because this guy, I want to set just a guideline here. We are going to talk about ICE. We are going to talk about the shooting in Maine. We're going to touch on the shooting in Texas too. We'll play some video and stuff. But listen, we're not choosing sides in this show. You don't like ICE, that's fine. You like ICE, that's fine. But we're not going to choose sides. We're just going to cover what happened. We're going to just talk about it and look at it and see what happened. But we're not going to pick sides in here because we don't want the rhetoric for that. So again, if it's not for you, you can join us again later. But we're just going to be talking about it because no matter what, somebody lost their life, whether or not it was, anyways, but we're going to cover it just because it needs to be covered. We'll take a look at, some video. We'll listen to some news and stuff. And if anybody doesn't know what happened in Maine yesterday, in Biddeford, Maine, ICE was there. I don't know for sure because nobody said really absolutely, but they were there to have somebody removed because they were supposed to leave. And they didn't, and they went to get that person, and it ended up another incident with a car, and the person was shot and unalived, and we'll go from there. But we are going to cover that, and we'll cover a few more things, I think, maybe to round out the show and everything, just because we can't talk too much on that. So I hope everybody is okay with that little set of rules. We just don't want near the political propaganda in here. We're just going to cover it and go from there. And that's it. So there goes Double D. It's his turn now.
Yeah, well, in what happened in Maine, there's a lot of different things that, obviously occurred, and it is newsworthy, obviously, because like Chris said, it's dealing with the loss of life. And that's pretty much what we cover here as far as whether it's a case, whether it's a missing person, whether it's a whatever type of case, we're always covering these type of things. It's no different. Somebody lost their life, and sometimes there's got to be consequences for people's actions, irregardless of whatever spectrum or whatever side you lie or whatever you believe or whatever. There's always a consequences, because here's the thing, everybody. When you're dealing with the loss of life, it doesn't get any more than that. That is it. No one. There's nothing more precious in the gift of life. So when somebody goes unalive, man, this is like the only time when most likely people like us will start talking about it. And then at some point it'll just, dissipate. So just know that. And like I said, keep all your, like Chris said earlier, just believe whatever you want and whatever you feel and how you feel it, because once again, this is just a conversation about what's going on, nothing more to it than that. So that's all I got.
That's all you got. So
That's
okay.
it.
And Tucci, I do know how to share the mic with Dog. So
Make sure, Chris.
yeah, make. I'm glad you let me know what to do. So but yeah, we're all good.
We're good here, man. We all get along in here without a doubt.
So I'm gonna find something to watch. For again, viewer discretion, just in case. I will try to play videos that don't show anything because we don't want to do that. But viewer discretion, because some of them are a little,
And understand,
crap.
hey, everybody, understand this too as well. Because of my background, there is some things that I'm going to be able to see that maybe others haven't seen or know as far as experience within that realm. So if you got a question like, is this appropriate? Is this, that, or how does this go or whatever, don't hesitate to ask any questions. We'll try, Chris and I will try to answer it best we can. Just want to throw that little nugget in there for y'all.
Yeah, go for it. If you have any questions in the chat, just ask away and we'll read the chat and, we'll stop, take a break, read through the chat, see if there's any questions and answer them as best we can. So I'm going to fire up just the first video here.
Welcome in, Alley Cat.
Well, I heard the pop, pop, pop sound, and I didn't know what it was because I thought it was fireworks, and it didn't make any sense. So I went to the third floor window that overlooks that street, and I could see a small sedan turn 90 degrees to the curb, and an SUV like behind it, but kitty corner to it. He started coming down the street again, driving. I don't know how. And then the SUV hit him again. He tried to, and then that's when he stopped. ICE agent got out, tried to open the door and had a difficult time, but eventually opened it and pulled the guy out. His face was bloody, his head was bloody. And I clearly heard the victim say, "I tried to stop." Clearly heard him say that. The ICE agent that shot him walked right in front of me. And of course, I was emotional and I just let him have it. And he looked at me and he said he tried to run me over or something to that effect. I don't remember his exact words. There was another ICE agent with him that was trying to comfort him, and they walked away.
There's a lot of short, few second clips and stuff. So I'm going to see what we can find. I want to go back to. So there was some media there yesterday, and one of the places is the Main Wire, and people don't like them. Just a little background. Because they always think they're there to cause trouble. And one of the guys that was there, he's an older gentleman, and one of the protester people swung his skateboard at his face. And luckily, the reporter guy had his phone and his hand in front of his face, and he knocked the phone to the ground. But this guy tried to hurt him. And what I don't understand is, I know why they're protesting, because everybody believes that ICE is just going around taking people, shooting people, killing people. And, these protesters hate anybody that's there to report. They were even giving it yesterday to the big news channels, which I don't understand. What makes you any better now? You're there hurting people, trying to hurt the cops that are there. Their own cops. They stormed the senator's office. She's a senator, right? Yeah. They stormed the senator's office, telling them to get her out, get her out. What did she do to have anything to do with this? They just do what they want and get away with it. So yeah, that's assault, but the news guy didn't do anything about it because he understands why they're mad, like a lot of people do. But myself, the cops were there. I mean, I would have did something. Your thoughts, Devil Dog?
Well, a lot of times you got people that first of all, you got a lot of times you have split second decisions to make. And it's just that simple. And it's not always maybe the right thing, but at the time it looks right because you don't have that time to react. I mean, it's now or you're not, you may not be going home, that type of thing. So always remember that when these officers are going through these things, I don't necessarily agree with everything that happens, but I do say that it's one thing being behind that shield. That shield is not going to stop anything, right? It ain't going to stop no bullet. It ain't going to stop no anything to do harm. So the idea is that you really got to also look at the perspective of what the cops go through, because they do go through a lot. And, it's easy to play, armchair quarterback and think, oh, they could have done this or they could have done that, or they could have wounded him here, shot him in their leg and all that. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, if you see something that's really out of the norm, kind of like what Carol said earlier about, is this an assault? Yeah, absolutely. It's an assault big time, only if somebody wants to press charges. So that's all I got right now.
Yeah. So this is after. Well, that was after. There is a video of before, which I'll fire up in a minute. And I'm not law enforcement. I know a lot of law enforcement. My good friends, I have relatives that are law enforcement. And let me say, not one of us, except for Devil Dog or anybody in the chat that might be law enforcement or were law enforcement, whatever. When you pull out your weapon and you aim that weapon at somebody, you're about to change your life forever.
That's correct.
Whether or not you pull that trigger or not, you're about to change your life forever. Ever. Now, I can't say whether or not what I would do, whatever, but this guy just shot and killed this guy who he felt was endangering him and other people trying to get away or whatever he was doing. Who knows what happens from here? His life could go on and he'll be miserable because he took somebody's life, or who knows, he could end up going to jail. I mean, these days, this is what happens. So, I obviously, if it comes out and then, hey, the officer was wrong, so be it. But you got to remember, we can be mad, but you got to remember what that guy just suffered. Like, I know the family of the person that's dead is or unalive, is suffering. And yeah, of course, but the officer just did that. Can anybody imagine what that feels like? I can't. Not at all. What do you think, Doug?
Well, I think literally you're right on. I didn't catch this. We're doing the live yesterday, so I didn't get to see a lot of this.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in basically on the fly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have what's called a good pew pewing, and then sometimes you have it bad. And Chris is right. At the moment, everything seems easy to be able to understand why it's being done, but then you have to look at literally. There's a lot of protocols. There's a lot of policy and procedures that you have to follow. And if there's some that you don't follow that don't require you to do X, Y, and Z, then you're right. It does change your life. I knew several people that have done this, that have, had to use their firearm, and you could see there was a difference in them, like not in a glory state, more in a kind of out there stage, So just know that is very true, without a doubt. But don't get me wrong. There's sometimes when they get it wrong, and when they get it wrong, I'm just as much as I can support them when they get it right, I can also not support them when they get it wrong. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Me too. I mean, and again, if he was in the wrong, then whatever happens to him happens to him. He made the decision to pull that weapon, and I don't think they're there, like everybody says, just to kill people. I mean, that's bogus. That's a load of crap. If he feels like his life is in danger, then he's going to do what he needs to do to go home at night. And the other thing that I want to mention, I'm sorry, when the police are trained, they're not trained to shoot somebody in their big toe. They're not trained that, right?
Maybe the pinky toe.
You're going to, I mean, really, could you choose to shoot somebody in the knee at the moment? I don't know, because you're in the moment.
Yeah.
If somebody's pointing a weapon at you, I'm not looking to shoot the guy in his ankle bone. I'm looking to put his ass down. Sorry. I mean, I carry. I'm licensed to carry. And when I was taught, I wasn't taught to shoot somebody in the ankle. Can anybody in the chat tell me where officers are taught to shoot? Right here. Right here. Or I mean, we got to remember these things, because this is why there's all these protests. Look, these people aren't out there protesting because of what happened. These people are out there some of them are, but most of these people out there are protesting are just to protest and cause havoc wherever they are. Watch 90% of them, and you can see what they're out there for. So I don't agree with anything that these bad protesters do. There is definitely some good ones, and you'll see them. When I bring up the other footage, you will see them. I'm just trying to find it. No, go ahead.
So Virginia says, I'm completely lost here. More GD needs to. Basically, this is just a situation that occurred the other day in Maine. There was a unaliving dealing with a ICE agent, and that's what we're covering to see what happened. It's easier once you see everything that has happened to be able to make an assessment. And I can tell you right now, I definitely will have an opinion, and you all will hear my opinion as to what I see. But you're right. You cannot, when you are going through training and you are in law enforcement and you are training, look, if you pull that pew out of your holster, you're doing it for one reason. You better be ready to use it. And you're not using it to hurt someone. You're using it to stop the threat. And you're going to do what Chris just showed you, you go for that biggest target, which is that chest area. They call that the center mass. That's what you go for. Why? Because if you miss, because you wanted to shoot his pinky toe or wanted to shoot him in the right arm or the left leg so he can go down, and you miss, you may not get a second chance to take another shot, and that's what you have to remember. So it is a, for better lack of words, a bam, bam situation where you have to respond. And that's why they always teach you, when you are going and you're facing a threat, if it's a deadly force threat, my God, you better take the biggest target you can and take it, because you need to eliminate that threat. Unfortunately, when you say eliminate that threat, you're saying you're eliminating that individual. And God forbid, if you was to not eliminate him and you miss, you may not get to go home that night. And so it is very thing, it's very a quick bam, bam reaction. Also, remember that in the same token, what happens with a lot of these agents, and I'll just say it, for some that I do know, and some that I have read a lot about this, there's a lot of these individuals here that are not that experienced. So you have to look at that. They're not that experienced. They didn't go through the whole course of what it takes to be an ICE agent or an FBI or whatever. There's a lot of inexperienced individuals. So that trigger happy happens quite a bit, and that's what kind of throws that monkey in the wrench, where you're kind of like, you're asking why and how come, but then you have to look at, well, how much training do they really have? And I can tell you right now, most of them don't have that much training, so that is another way to look at it from that perspective. Go ahead, Chris.
So, and the only reason that I may be talking a little bit more than Doug is because he didn't get to be all over this case yesterday. I covered it on my channel for a while, and I did the reading on it. So, but I am going to say I don't have any idea what the complete outcome is. I have only heard multiple little things that have flown, and one of the things that I did hear is that this guy that was unalived may not have been the correct person that they were after. That's all I can say on that. I don't know. I haven't gotten a report today. I probably won't, because after this, my ass is going to sleep because I'm tired. But so it may have been the wrong person. And unfortunately, this was also done in front of his wife and his child. They were both there. And, and I think you may have heard the first guy that we listened to had said, I heard him say, it was his last words that he spoke, this guy, was, I tried to stop. So I don't know. Again, the video that they play is, it's you can hear some pew pew shots, but again, it's from far away and you don't really see the whole entire thing unless it's a different video by now. But let's run this and then we'll go from there.
Details this morning about the young man shot and killed by ICE in Maine. He has been identified as 26-year-old Joan Sebastian Guerrero. According to a neighbor, he was a young father who worked hard to provide for his family. Now, the events surrounding the shooting, they are unclear this morning. Very unclear. A doorbell camera captured part of the gunfire.
Oh, is that a car?
So after the shots were fired, presumably, video showed Guerrero's car going around in circles as officers tried to stop it. Another video showed officers pulling his body out of the car. The Department of Homeland Security released a statement saying the officer opened fire, quote, fearing for public safety. Maine Senator Angus King spoke to CNN.
There's a lot of law, John, on are shooting at vehicles. And the bottom line is you have to either fear for your own safety or the safety of others. And so far, we haven't seen evidence of that.
All right, let's get right to CNN's Maria Santana, who is in Biddeford, Maine this morning with the very latest. New details emerging, but still, Maria, so many questions.
Yeah, that's right, John. And what we do know is that another family and another community has been left reeling today after another deadly ICE shooting, one that comes only 2 weeks after a similar.
What happened, Chris? Hello? Hello?
I'm here. It
Okay.
kicked me to the curb. It's been doing that. So just let me say, for some reason, every once in a while, the screen's been kicking me out of StreamYard. So if that happens, just give me 2 seconds. I'll fire it back up like I just did. So I don't know what the hell the problem is.
From authorities, from Senator Angus King, is that Guerrero was not the target of the warrant that the ICE agents were trying to execute. And according to witnesses, what they have told us is that around 7 a.m., Guerrero was leaving his home. He was on his way to work, was in his car when he was stopped by these ICE agents. After that, the situation really gets confusing, murky. We don't know what happened, what escalated this situation to the point where the agents opened fire. We don't know whether the shots happened before or after the car started moving. We did see that video where a white sedan was moving very slowly, and then you see an officer approach the vehicle. He is hanging on to the door. It looks like he's trying to open it or get into the vehicle. Then we see officers in another disturbing video pulling a limp, bloodied body outside of this car, handcuffing the man as he's taken out of the car. And then CNN did obtain video of the agents rendering first aid to the victim. Here is what one witness told us about what they saw happen. Let's hear.
He started coming down the street, again, driving, I don't know how. And then and then that's when he stopped. ICE agent got out, tried to open the door, had a difficult time, but eventually opened it and pulled the guy out. His face was bloody, his head was bloody.
And John, after about 12 hours, DHS did release a statement. They said that ICE was conducting targeted surveillance on the last known address of an illegal alien with a final order of removal. An illegal alien departed the residence in a vehicle. ICE law enforcement attempted to conduct a vehicle stop. The vehicle attempted to flee the scene, and fearing for public safety, an officer discharged his weapon. And now they were not wearing body cameras, as the senator said. So we do not know what happened leading up to the incident. What we do know is that protests have broken out here in this community. There's a small memorial that's set up right here on the intersection where things happened in honor of the victim. He was a father of a 3-year-old, and according to some witnesses, she was at the scene still wearing her pajamas when her father was shot. John.
Oh, no. Oh, and you could hear, I think, the emotion in the neighbors' voices describing what they saw there as well. Got to be very troubling for the people of that small community. Maria Santana in Biddeford, Maine. Let us know when you find out more. Obviously, details in this are hard to come by. Thank you.
We have more now from CNN's Jason Carroll, and another warning. His report contains more disturbing video.
State and federal authorities are investigating another ICE-involved shooting, this time in Biddeford, Maine. Maine Senator Angus King saying he spoke to DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen, who shared that the victim of today's federal law enforcement shooting, identified as a 26-year-old Colombian man, was not the target of the warrant. This in contrast to an earlier conversation in which Senator King shared that Secretary Mullen told him the victim was the target. Witnesses tell CNN shots rang out early Monday morning.
There's a lot there.
Is that a car?
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, so here we go. Let me start all over. Here I am talking away, and I'm not even on the stage. See how tired I am? Jeez, it's all Melly's fault anyway. So, anyways, what I was just saying is this protest is an hour and 15 minutes after the incident. Okay, look at these people. The guy that has the FUCK ICE banner in black and white. Do you think he created that in an hour? Absolutely not. So where did he get a banner that says F ICE? Can anybody tell me? I understand the signs, everything here. Wait, and when there's more down the road with other people, they had all these incredible things. How is that possible if Melly, I'll come to Toronto. I'll protest right in front of your house. But how did they have all these things ready to go? It doesn't make sense to me. Do you know why? Because when you see somebody that has that FUCK ICE banner, they're with a group. The people that have the stuff ready to go are with a group, just in case something like this happens. This is what it is, which drives me crazy. They're waiting for this. These people are sitting there waiting for something like this to happen, just so they can go out and protest and show that, I don't know, dog, help me out. What are they trying to prove?
Well, I think they have. I think you have it on both ends, both spectrums on both sides. On one side, you have people are ready to to go ahead and literally have these things already made to where they can just go ahead and grab it and get it and go. I don't know if in fact they were done hours ago before, or they were done, within the last 30, 40 minutes. All I can tell you is that both sides, you have the pro ICE, and you have the people that are against ICE. And yeah, that's just how it is. That's how our country is, right? You do, as long as you do a peaceful protest, you're okay. I mean, you're okay to do a peaceful protest. It's every American's individual right. You just can't take it to the extreme where you're hurting someone, because now that violence is going to get you in some trouble. What I want to know, Chris, is the guy that was pew-pewed in the car. So they were stopping him for what? What was the reason?
They got the wrong guy.
Okay. So who did they think they had?
The guy that they were going after, that they had the warrant for, he was supposed to leave the country already. He had already went, from what I learned yesterday, is that he had already done everything he needed to do, like, dealing with them before they gave him a date where he needed to be out of the country. They did that correct. They said, all right, cool. You're not here legally, so you don't have your paperwork anymore. So by July 15th, 16th, 17th, whatever, you need to vacate and go back and try to redo whatever it is you got to do to come back. Okay. Well, he didn't leave by that date. So they were like, okay. So this was kind of this was like a legit one. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had the paperwork, right. They had it all. He was supposed to leave. He agreed to leave because they let him stay for a while, and he didn't. So they went to get him, to take him and get him out of the country.
So how did this guy get caught up in the crossfire?
I believe, I can't stand on this, but I believe they went to the wrong address.
Okay. So
and this guy came out, and he was in his car, and I think he got nervous that they were there for him, and that's when he took off in the car. But he didn't take off like 500 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're now just looking at it from law enforcement perspective, you have to make damn sure that you have the person you are trying to serve a warrant on. Yep. That's number one. I honestly, I would chalk this up as probably a mishap that happened for lack of experience, because when you serve a warrant, you don't just get it and serve it, you double check it. So your superiors double check it. The leader of the whole of task force or whoever's doing the operation checks it. I mean, that thing is checked multiple times to make sure, A, that suspect is there, and B, and they have to be there, and B, that it's going to go smoothly. Well, so when something like this usually happens, it's always because, honestly, it's just because someone dropped the ball and didn't do their verification, double checking. And then the other aspect is it's because it goes wrong because of lack of experience. Those are the only really two things that can happen on this. So yeah, this guy, they said they pew-pewed him because they were afraid of him in a threat to the community? What was the threat to the community?
The first one was he was trying to hit the officers. Mm-hmm. And then that's the first time I heard that a few minutes ago, that said he felt like a threat to the community. That's the first time I heard that, but that's what they said.
So he tried to hit the officer with the car?
Yeah. Again, I think it was him trying to get away, and the officers were in front of the car, and I unfortunately, and again, I hate to see it. A person is unalived and in front of his family. And what I'm going to chalk it up to, another reason is probably is the wrong way that they're doing it is because when this guy that they were actually looking for probably wasn't involved with ICE before. He probably got in trouble in Maine with the Biddeford police and ended up having to go to court. And that's where all of his, hey, you're not here legal. And that's where all his trouble started. I could be way off, but I'm thinking because ICE isn't living in Biddeford, Maine. Sorry, they're not. So they give him that date. You got to go. And then that date comes along. Oh, he didn't leave. We saw him, blah, 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 blah. Then now ICE is working all of this. So they send ICE out there. They have no idea who they're getting. They don't know this guy from a hole in the wall, right? So, you know, I think what needs to happen, and let me know if you think I'm wrong, I think there needs to be every city, town, state that ICE is going to do work, it needs to be a task force. It needs to be ICE and Biddeford police or Maine state police.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because
I do. You're right, because look, the officers in the communities know their people. The officers in the community know who they are. The officers that are working in those beat cops that are working those areas, they know who their people are. So if you're going to do, and that I can tell you, this is something we've done this. I've done this in Oklahoma. Yeah. I have literally done this. I have worked with ICE. I have worked with Border Patrol because of the language barrier that they had and where I was at. So I have worked with them not just as an officer or whatnot, but in the capacity of being able to have people come out of the home, do the whole 9 yards. And then, you know, if they are found that they are illegal, then obviously they get sent back. So I have personally done this work. I get it. What happens is that the problem is that every time, and I have some good friends in the Border Patrol, every time they would come into our station and they would say, hey, we got X amount of people, or we have a factory that we want to go to. Can you guys go ahead and come with us? And we're like, absolutely. So we would go down there. They'd call all the officers in, say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And then, of course, if I'm not working that day, they'd call me on the phone and say, hey there, 12 or whatever, 23, be advised, we need you to come on out. So I'll come on out. Then I find out what's going on. And so then we go from there. And then I'd go and basically they would do their job, But the idea that they're going in there to basically like without a plan. See, I think that's what happens here. When you put criterias of how many people you want to get a day, when you set criterias, sometimes you tend to cross that line because you want to meet that criteria. You want to meet that standard. And I think like here, the guy didn't have a chance because, he was not the guy they were looking for. And the only way to avoid that is to have officers work simultaneously with them. The problem is a lot of officers don't want to work side to side with ICE because they don't agree with what's going on. So now you have a kind of a split there, and that's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just a matter of this is what happens when the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing and vice versa. So it's really a sad, unfortunate thing that happened. There's no excuse for it to happen. No. The idea that some departments will have in their policy and procedures, you can't discharge your firearm at a moving vehicle, okay? Especially if it's already past you, especially if you have an ability to basically jump out of the way. Right. Some people have used that it's a vehicle, it can do dangerous. Well, of course, anything can do dangerous, hurt to somebody. Hell, a motorcycle can run over somebody and hurt them pretty bad. The idea is just that it depends on whatever the policy and procedure is for that community, for that city, for that town, the municipality. That's how it's supposed to go. But in this case, it looks like it was just a blunder that went wrong. And now you're going to have, on one side, you're going to have people that are going to escalate it, and they're going to say, this is our chance to make our case, right? And then on the other side, you got people going, this is our chance to go ahead and, and it's just a back and forth. So I hope that makes sense to a lot of the people watching.
Oh,
because,
yeah,
it's just, this does happen when there is not a lot of experience, and when the law enforcement of that community, that town, city, municipality, whatever, they're not being included, or if they are, they're not allowing, maybe their chief or whatnot are not allowing them to be a part of it because they don't agree with it. That's a possibility. There's so many factors, and until they unfold this out, that's when you're going to know what's really happening. So that's all I can really tell you, honestly.
And let me know if I'm, well, I mean, this is what happened. So my brother-in-law, his brother, is a Massachusetts state police officer. And he was pulled to work with ICE. So he rolls around with ICE. And his uniform is ICE. His vest says ICE officer or whatever it says. Is that what all ICE officers are? Just pulled into like a task force and become ICE officers? Are there, I don't know this for sure, but are there ICE officers that's what they do all the time? They were hired to be ICE, or is that a task force?
No, that used to be something that they had. That what they did is they ended up putting everybody under Homeland Security. Okay, because it used to be the Border Patrol was their own people. ICE did have a role to place, where they dealt with just certain things dealing with immigration. Border Patrol dealt with the border, plus they deal also with like the arresting aspect and all that.
They should be the ones.
Yeah. So what happened is they combined all these government facilities and they called it Homeland Security. Well, that kind of like, now it's almost like having all these different programs under one. And then you ask, well, who's making the final decision? Because it used to be the Border Patrol guy, used to be the ICE for his unit. It's almost like having different departments and not a true leader, right? Not someone that they're accustomed to. So I think ever since they changed it and made it into a Homeland Security as an overall umbrella, I think that's when everything started to really go south, in my opinion, because not everybody, they never worked hand in hand. They worked differently. You know, Border Patrol does their things. ICE did their things. ATF did their things. All these people did their different agendas. But when they put everybody together, and I'm not sure who that was under. I think that was under George Bush Jr. I think is when it was after the 9/11 thing.
When ICE was formed.
Yeah,
right?
and everything came into one. And that's a lot because not everybody is trained the same way. No. How Border Patrol handles things are different. How ICE would handle is different. And then you put in that whole mix, you put inexperienced individuals, and now you have a problem. Okay, because, and that's honest, truly, my thing with ICE and everything that I have read and everything that I have seen is just the idea that that's the big hindrance, is the experience. There is not a lot of experience, and that's the problem. That's what they're dealing with,
They're just going off of their police, whatever the word is that I'm looking for. So as far as they're concerned, ICE, that's just a name. They're just being a cop.
Look, a lot of people that came in, a lot of people that are working for ICE, although well-intentioned, a lot of the people that are working for ICE may have not even been in law enforcement, period. They just went to ICE, and then they just went, if the course was, 26 weeks or whatever it is to become an ICE agent, it was shortened to, like, at the beginning, it was shortened like to 4 weeks. Well, there's a big difference, and not just that, but then you have seasoned veterans that are in there, seasoned ICE officers that are in there, that over time, that's where you gain that experience, right? So you're basically throwing, it would be like me taking a group of just fresh Marines out to the battlefield and say, okay, make it happen, with no leadership, with no people that have the ability to work with them because they haven't seen a whole lot. You know what I mean? And that's kind of can be the problem. But yeah, this was just something that went wrong, and unfortunately. Chris just bugged out again. Flight Cats, we all know that kid drama, sick channel like this really enjoy playing. But Fly, what are you talking about? We're on a different conversation here. We're not talking about anything of the other day here. It's not about free speech. It's about sticking to the topic. Fly Cats, it's all about sticking to the topic. That's what it's about. And if the topic doesn't interest you, then maybe somewhere else will interest you.
This morning,
same with you, Slap.
Agent shot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just getting some trolling this morning.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of people are upset because they get blocked because, it's fine to have an opinion, but it's not if we don't think that it's something that's appropriate, you're just not, we're going to tell you, hey, stick to what we're talking about. And if you don't want to stick to what we're talking about, then you'll just get literally blocked. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all it works.
So here's another picture. And so do you have this in your closet, this sign right here that says nurses say abolish ICE?
Yeah.
So
see, I think that's a problem. I look, to say abolish ICE, I would like to see those signs just say, please get more experience for ICE or something to that effect. Right. If that was good, but I don't see. But see, that's the thing. When you read that and it says nurses say abolish ICE, is it really nurses or is it just people writing nurses? You follow me?
Right. No, but see this, I get you 100%, but this isn't like made today. So this sign is like printed by a big print.
Oh, absolutely.
How the hell do you have this?
Because
you
have
in your closet?
Yeah, you have it already. You have it ready to go, so you can snack in it, grab it, and take off with it. And I mean, this is all organized. Obviously,
yeah. So that's what I'm
it's
saying.
All
like
organized. That's the bottom line.
Exactly. This guy or somebody in the crowd has these, and they're there to cause trouble. They're not there because they want to show their sign and how they feel. They're just there to hope, because some of these groups that set these things up pay these people. But my question is, the hell do you know what's going to happen in Biddeford, Maine?
Right. I follow you.
Come on, man.
And maybe a lot of these people, Chris, they come from different areas. How long does it take to come from an area that they're doing a lot of protesting on whatever? How long does it take for them to gather up and go to, let's say, this area and already have all their gear because they're close by? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say a lot of these people are not probably from there, in my opinion.
No, and so from Boston to Biddeford, Maine is an hour and 45 minutes with no traffic, right? But Biddeford is a small coastal town, but they're near Portland, which is a big area with a lot of people. So any one of these, you know, I'm going to call them trolls too in the crowd, to have all signs. But that's what kills me is like all these riots, protests that we've seen, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon, like where it was really going with the tear gas and the guys.
Right.
In the end, after everything that went on, what did they accomplish? Can anybody in the chat tell me what they accomplished? All the protests, the multiple people that were injured, and people shot with pepper balls, and people getting injured by that, and them attacking media people. After everything, we're how many months later? Can anybody tell me what that got them? No, because you know what it got them? Zero, nothing. All they did for it is to be on TV, go out and be able to run rampant throughout the town.
Yeah, anybody got any comments on what Chris is asking and what we're talking about? If you got any comments on that, by all means, ask the questions, let us know so we can go ahead and try to answer it to the best of our ability. Gronsky says, I'm not a big on protesting. Well said, Gronsky, well said. Jim says, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Slab. Melly, Zippo. Norma says, Chris, they didn't accomplish nothing. Well said. Tarek, they didn't accomplish anything. Holly, Carol, probably Norma. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think in the reality, at the end of the day, nothing's being accomplished except more division. And that's what's happening. There's more division than we've ever had. That I can say. I mean, we're dealing with so much. So that's the problem you're seeing. That's the problem you're dealing with. People are just not understanding that at the end of the day, nothing really truly productive is getting accomplished when you're doing things like this on both sides of the aisle, if you will. My opinion. L says protesting peacefully is one thing, but people didn't know how to control themselves. Without a doubt. Well said, L. Well said. If they don't protest peacefully as the Constitution, but oftentimes they get violent. That is very true, Tarek, 100%. Thank you, Marianne. Mods, you got the free go. You see something that's, somebody being ignorant, just get rid of them. Don't need it. Don't need it for nothing. Marianne, hi, Melly. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that are happening. He is gone. I haven't seen him. I have not seen him at all, April. Thank you so much, April. Appreciate that. So, the idea that you're always going to have what I call hiccups in these type of things. Let's see this one here. Chris is going to play another one.
5 gunshots. The man's white car, then seen here after the shooting, slowly moving in a circle. An agent trying to stop the vehicle, authorities eventually stopping it with their own car. First responders seen surrounding a man who lay motionless in the street. Daniel Boucher says he saw agents pull the driver out.
He put him on the ground, and I heard the young man say, I tried to stop. Clearly heard him say that. I tried to stop, or I tried to pull over.
Boucher says one ICE agent claimed the man tried to run him over.
I could no longer see any movement, which meant that he had expired. It was bloodied. His face was bloody. It was awful. It was awful. I mean, really, really bad.
The car's windshield seen riddled with bullet holes.
I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve to be executed in the street.
ABC affiliate WMTW identifying the victim of the shooting as Joan Sebastian Guerrero from Colombia. Immigration advocates say he had a social security number and was authorized to work in the U.S. and was on his way to work. Maine Senator Angus King saying the 26-year-old was not the intended target.
The question is, what did he do with his vehicle? Were officers threatened? Were the threats rising to the level that justified deadly force?
King says he was told none of the agents involved were wearing body cameras. DHS says they are rolling them out to ICE agents across the country. A spokesperson for ICE telling ABC News, ICE law enforcement attempted to conduct a vehicle stop. The vehicle attempted to flee the scene, and fearing for public safety, an officer discharged his weapon. Monday's shooting coming 6 days after Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was shot and killed by ICE agents in Houston. Authorities there also alleging the victim threatened agents with his vehicle, though they did not provide evidence. At least 9 people have been killed during immigration enforcement operations under the second Trump administration. At least 5 of them fatally shot, including U.S. citizens Alex Preddy and Renee Good earlier this year in Minneapolis. It has taken months, but local officials now say that evidence held by federal authorities has been turned over in both the Good and Preddy cases. These recent shootings come as ICE is stepping up enforcement. Their goal, 2,000 arrests per day.
Ooh.
Her mug.
2,000 arrests per day?
See, that's the problem. That's no different than departments having quotas, right?
Yeah.
So when you have quotas, and I've always believed this, when you have quotas, you're sitting there going ahead and you're coming to a crossroad of, I got to meet this quota. And sometimes you kind of bend the rule a little bit so that you can get what you need. And I think that's just crazy. I think if you got the people, that quota needs to go out the door, because it's causing officers, or in this case, maybe ICE, to have to make that crucial decision. And it's almost like, more than not, they'll lean to, well, we need that number, right? We got to give those numbers. And sometimes when you do that, you're forced to compromise someone else's rights. And that's what happens, unfortunately.
I have a bad feeling that, well, not bad feeling, but I think this one is going to go against the cop. And, I'm not sure. It's ugly. That's why,
Yeah. I think it's just, once again, I think the reality is that even everybody does make mistakes. These are mistakes in law enforcement that you just can't make.
No,
you can't make that. You're talking about the end of somebody's life. You're talking about the end of someone's being a father, being, or a son or a wife or a husband. It's not that simple. I mean, I would like to think people would err on caution, and say, it's just not worth it. Hey, he doesn't really look like that guy, but it's just not worth it. But it's not, because believe it or not, there is a lot of pressure on these numbers that they want to see. That's just a fact.
Yeah, which do away with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Get what you can get, I mean.
But yeah, I think in law enforcement, just a little clip you just played, do I think that there was a threat? No. I didn't see it. I'll have to look at it again. But just looking at it.
You're not seeing that part, though.
Huh?
You're not seeing the part where he thought he was going to get run over.
Right.
It's hidden it's on the side. The only time we saw the car is after he was shot. The car was driving.
But why aren't those videos being put out?
There's one out there. I'm just having trouble finding.
Got you.
Maybe maybe they took it down.
Find it, Chris. Find it.
Give me a few.
Senor Chris, find it.
That's the problem. I'm having trouble finding it. But I wanted to see this.
AZ says protesting peacefully results.
No, this is Bangor. Never mind.
Unfortunately, division has been instilled. Unfortunately, so many have no idea what they are even protesting when they when they head out to join the masses. Well said, AZ. Well said. I agree with that.
That's the other thing. When you go to these protests and they start asking, like when these reporters get out there and they start asking real questions like, why are you here? What are you doing here? And what for? Some people have great answers, but a lot of these people can't even answer the question.
Right.
They're like, well, it's because of, they stumble because they have no reason to be there.
That's exactly
all they need to say is, we're here to cause trouble. That's all you have to say.
Gronsky says there should be no room for mistakes. These numbers make little sense. I agree. I do agree with that. KS is in the house. Good to have you. Melly, the video might be on X. I'm sure someone has it. It's probably out there, Melly, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Every time I refresh my YouTube page, I keep seeing it's a protest. Nice, United We Stand, and it's your cover page. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's live, and then it's you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hold on, guys, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find some video from yesterday. See Main Wire's video from yesterday. I don't. Wow. Sorry. Yeah, Main Wire, who was there yesterday, the guy that got assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find his video. It's on their channel. That's a little odd.
Well said, Tarek.
Well, maybe.
Yes, we are, Gronsky. We're all getting smarter with each other. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm going to play this. This is the Main Wire, the news. I'm going to play a little bit of this.
Featuring Main Wire editor-in-chief Steve Robinson and the indispensable John Featherston.
All right, guys, John with the Main Wire. Monday evening, about 7:45. I just attempted to do a live interview with Laura Ingram, and I was just Main Wire. We got a gentleman here who's referring to me as a demon. Why do you think I'm a demon? Because you go to these places, educate people. How did I? Can you use that on TV? Sure, we can use that on TV. Yeah. Tell your mom I said hi, okay? Yeah, she lives with you. Oh, yeah. You can get a minute. There you go. You agree with that, right? No, I don't agree with that. Okay. All right, okay, what are you reporting? Well, I'm just reporting on what you're doing. So, that's all I'm doing is reporting on what you're doing. So what's the problem with me reporting? Okay, but, once again, you have no facts. Okay, thanks, Bo. Thanks for your time. What do you mean I have no facts? What? Oh, well, tell your mom I said hi again. So, guys, like I said, we're actually live in the studio. We're walking across the street right now. Got very good emphasis on Laura Ingram. I mean, here we are live.
Now, one thing I wanted to say is he approached the police chief. I don't know if you saw that video yesterday after they stormed the senator's office. Mm-hmm. He approached the police chief and said, "Are you going to add any additional officers to the streets today or tonight?" And she said, "No."
Wow.
But, I mean, it's Biddeford, Maine, so they probably don't have a whole lot of officers. But, in this fact, you call in state police.
Oh, this is my friend here. You guys see him on the Lori show? Cool. Yeah, so John here was the disruptor on the wall.
Okay, I'm done with that. That is an annoying video.
Always takes away your candy.
Thank you.
Give that to you.
We are getting new details this morning about the young man shot and killed by ICE in Maine. He has been identified as 26-year-old Joan Sebastian Guerrero.
We saw that. All right.
I'm saying you're on your live.
Carol, are they protesting today? Not sure, Carol.
I haven't been alive with them yet. So
Okay. April, great mods here. I appreciate you all. Tarek, Norma, they are paid tools. Gronsky, April, we make it through the day without a doubt. We can make it through yesterday. We can make it through today. Just saying.
If I made it through last night, I can make it through today.
This reporter had a lot of gumption taking that crap from these protesters. Yeah, without a doubt.
But I'm not a huge fan of him. He's the one that was assaulted with the skateboard yesterday.
Oh, that was the one?
That's him, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Featherston. Yeah, he's the one. I'm trying to find that video too. But this is the other shooting that took place in Texas 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And this is right over here is the ICE agents, and that's the white van. But that guy that we were watching, he has a mouth on him. Like you just heard him. He said, "Tell your mother I said hi."
Yeah.
Uncalled for. You don't need to respond to somebody like that because now you're asking for more
You're
trouble.
asking for an ass whooping is what you're asking for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I'm just being
there's some of these people that they respect the protesters, will talk to them and be nice to them. But then there's a whole bunch that they'll just punch, push, foot kick, throw, whatever. They don't care because it's the way that they get treated.
Right.
And, even though I'm not a big fan of this guy, even though when he first got there yesterday, before he was assaulted, he turned on the camera and he just started walking with the crowd and he was swarmed. And they were just like, "What are you doing here? You're this, you're that, you're bang." And they've got the sign right in his face. The lady's pushing him and he's like, and all he was doing was covering what they were doing. He wasn't even covering the shooting. He was there to cover the protest. He's like, "Listen," he's like, "all I'm here to do is cover you guys. What you guys are doing here. Why are you doing this?" And they just wouldn't hear it. So, well, let's check this out real quick. I have never even seen any of this. So.
Well, let's see it. Let's see what happens.
New video shows the clearest images yet of what led up to the deadly shooting of 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo by ICE agents. This video posted by his son shows Araujo leaving for work that morning. Surveillance video later picks him up turning a corner, being tailed by a dark SUV that appears to try to get around the van. Another angle shows a second SUV cutting through a parking lot to catch up. Moments later, the vehicles circle back around, and ICE agents appear to pull someone from the van. Salgado then seen here on the ground moment after being shot. DHS initially said Salgado weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE officer who fired in self-defense.
That is simply false.
Now, the others inside that van currently in detention are speaking out through their attorney.
I believe that the shots were signed up.
Tonight, Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia says the acting ICE director told her Salgado wasn't the target.
ICE was searching for an individual with a final removal order who officers believe had entered the van.
In a new statement, DHS says they observed a white van with an individual who resembled the target. Late today, Border Czar Tom Homan saying this.
If our agents violate policy, they violate the law, and they'll be dealt with.
DHS says the officers involved were not wearing body cams, but that all field offices will have them in the next 60 days. Tom?
Okay, Priscilla Thompson, thank you. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
So yeah, see, that's another wrong person supposedly.
But that's what happens when you are all about numbers.
Yep.
That's what happens, unfortunately.
And there should be nothing about numbers.
Absolutely. If it's there, take it. If it's there and someone's a criminal, take them. But if you're going to do it because of numbers, you're going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and you can't afford to when you're doing this type of work, because there's no remedy to undo what you just did, in my opinion.
I can't win today with this. StreamYard keeps booting me out. I have no luck. I'm trying to. It's Texas.
Hey, Chris Tarek says, got any Fox News there too?
Yep. Oh yeah.
We're gonna pull some up there, Tarek.
I want to try to find the main wire from yesterday. Let's see. This is the guy that we were just watching a few minutes ago from Maine Wire. He was assaulted in Bangor, Maine, not too long ago. Everywhere he goes, because they don't consider him real media,
right?
Because he's not Fox, CNN,
right?
But Maine Wire is one of the biggest news type, agencies around the area. But they consider him like the National Enquirer. Like,
oh, okay, got you.
So that's where they have their problem. But I'm just trying to.
That's a good point, Juicy. Why not just pull over and stop instead of taking off? That's a very good point.
The guy?
Yeah. Juicy's saying, why not just pull over and stop instead of taking off? It is very true.
But I think what happens, and it's no excuse, but I think what happens is when you see them, it's become such a huge thing. They like, oh shit, I know what's happening. Here they come, they're coming to get me. And you, in that moment, what do I do? What do I do? And you just go. And
it's that fight or flight stage.
Yeah, it's no excuse. But,
right.
And then this is where it gets ugly. When you're in that moment and you've decided, I'm just flooring it and I'm getting the hell out of here. If there's an ICE agent or a cop or anything around you near your car and you floor it like that, you've just opened yourself up to be I don't know, but you've just made it something different. You know what I mean?
I do.
So, crap. So everybody that's watched Juice when he was in front of Nancy Guthrie's house, right? And he was sitting.
Right.
You guys remember that white pickup truck that pulled up to deliver the cookies? Do you remember that? The white pickup truck with a young kid got out of it, and he had the cookies.
Okay.
Well, the donuts. I think it was donuts. I don't remember. But as Juice was sitting there, the white pickup truck was just pulling over to deliver the stuff, and Juice thought he was coming to hit him with the truck.
Right.
He just looked quick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He just looks quick. He's like, oh, shit, he's going to hit me. And he was just parking. So when you're a cop who has a lethal weapon and you're like, oh, God, here he comes. What are you going to do? you're going to try to protect yourself. And I get it. But that's where, like you said earlier, you have 1 second to make that decision.
Right.
If you're lucky. You know? And
yeah.
he made a decision. And the way it looks and sounds now, it may have been the wrong decision.
Right.
It's what it looks like and sounds like, but we weren't there. So let's just see what this has to unfold.
It's transpired, but the fact that so many. Well, guys, you can push all you want, but don't touch the camera, okay? No. Okay, it's tangible property. Okay, it's tangible property. So once again, you know, they're not happy that the main wire is there. So shocking. Yeah. Okay. Well, Grace, I should probably let you go because the language is getting kind of racy here. But.
So serious. It's main wire.
How are you, sir? All right. Can we get Graham on the phone? I gotta find out. Hey, did you see that the Maine People's Alliance doesn't want you in there?
It's an honor. It's an honor, man. This is crazy. Upside down American flags, all this stupid stuff.
All right, so guys, if you could say we're in Biddeford. And I mean, what do you think, Pastor?
Unbelievable. I was literally just stopping to do a video. If you actually consider the fact that the Bible says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, rulers, powers, principalities, what we're seeing here, it is spiritual. The Bible tells us that God's word is able to tear down strongholds. There is a stronghold over people's thinking. There's a stronghold over people's thinking that would take an American flag and put it upside down. Upside down. What we're dealing with, John, this is my wife and I and kids. We were just going to the beach and we drove by this. A tragedy. Obviously, a life was lost. Romans 13, John tells us that the federal agent doesn't bear his sword or, in today's day and age, the gun in vain. A civilian trying to get in the way of federal law enforcement sadly lost his life. It is a tragedy. It's not murder. Self-defense. What you're seeing here with an upside-down American flag, communism, Marxism, socialism, this is wickedness. It's a spiritual fight of good versus evil, John. That's what we're seeing.
Well, you know, here's the thing. We don't have all the information yet. We don't know what has transpired. But the fact that so many people have been able to assemble so quickly and we don't have the information. I mean, you know, if mistakes were made, let's have that conversation. But we don't know that yet.
Yeah, the word murder is already being thrown around. We don't know that it was murder. And, you know, we have federal law enforcement agents that are part of our church. And I know what these people go through to make this happen. So this is unbelievable. It's not surprising, but it is shocking. This is the condition of our state. And this is bad media press that has exhorted this. You saw Graham Plattner signing off saying F ICE. That's how he signs off.
That's a great point.
160,000 people that voted for him. And this is the fruit of it. It is, the Bible says when you cast off restraint, people will suffer. And this is casting off restraint. And it's really a tragedy.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you. Enjoy your day at the beach. And get out of here.
I saw you in the midst of it. I said, John is one of the bravest guys I know, man. So we're glad to be here.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
God bless you.
Good to see you guys. Have a great day.
John, let us know. We're down the road.
Thank you.
I chuckled when I saw you.
All right, so guys, an update of what's going on here. I mean, it's.
So that whole time, he met one person that agreed with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it is just definitely, it's not, what they're doing is just to do. I mean, just to go out and protest and swear and yell at cops and not get in trouble unless you assault a cop or something. But that's all there is, because they know they won't go to jail because the cops aren't going to do anything now unless it's, you know, for a big reason.
Right.
But, and again, like he just said, how did they get this assembled so fast? Do these people work? I mean, you all are home just chilling out? The hundreds and hundreds of people that showed up and, you know, had all these banners. And I'll say this forever. like all these made up banners that were ready to go. Like, I mean, go get your banner in your closet, Doug. Sorry, I don't have one. Like, you know, they pull out the banner F Ice and, you know, all these special things. It's stupid.
I agree.
It is definitely stupid. But I don't.
Oh, what about the man?
April. Thank you all, says Held. Jim, that guy was right in what he said. April, Jim agreed. Tarek, Jim agreed. Miguel agreed.
I can respect that. I'm sure you can. I like a small government personally. Yeah, I subscribe to that as well. Yeah, that's why I love when the feds kill people. That's small government, baby. Okay, great sign. Great sign. I absolutely love it. Unless the dude was charging a crowd with a gun, don't take him down. Human rights, brother. Somebody right. Okay. Tell me what your perspective is. I appreciate human rights. What's your perspective? My perspective is I'm covering this as a member of the media. So. Make money, baby. What do you work for? The Main Wire. Work for who? The Main Wire. Yeah.
My face.
Okay. Hi. Give me a comment.
Main Wire. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. I'm not. Main Wire.
You want to be recorded?
Main Wire. Don't talk to him.
Don't talk to the Main Wire.
Try to stay on the sidewalk.
Well, I would if you wouldn't push me off the sidewalk. Yeah.
Main Wire.
Main Wire. Here, back up a little so we can get your sign there.
Liquor.
Are you here to fuck yourself? Go fuck yourself, asshole! Get out of here. People kill. So why hide your face?
Don't talk to him. Just
Well said, Gronsky. Well said. Well said, Jim.
Don't touch it. Don't touch. Don't touch.
I think you're right, Melly. They don't like the wire. Carol, they don't want to work. They want handouts. Good point, Terry. Jim agreed.
I'm going to show some help to you, bud. I'm sorry? I'm going to show some help to you, bud. Yeah, I got a question. Who funds you guys? We get multiple donations from multiple sources. What sources? Multiple sources, like hundreds of. Can you disclose any of them? It would help with your transparency.
today, asshole.
I don't handle any of the fundraising. I'm just an employee. Could you give me a contact of who does handle the fundraising? If you go to our mainwire.com page, all of our contact information is there, and they'd be happy to help you. I did look at it, and it says that what is it like it's protected under like a different. No, label. If you go to the mainwire.com, all of our contact information is there. They can help you. Sure. It says you guys are funded by a specific organization. I was wondering if you could give me information on my organization. Like I said, I am just an employee there, but if you go to the contact page, somebody will be able to get you. I'm just a reporter for the Mainwire.
Good point, AZ. Good point.
It just seems like the
very good point, AZ.
Sort of someplace that's agenda based rather than transparent. Kind of like the Portland Press Herald funded by George Soros. Hey, you know, there's all sorts of funding for all different things. It would just help with your transparency if you could disclose who is funding. I'm not trying to be evasive. I'm just not responsible for that. I'm a reporter. But if you go to the mainwire.com page, you'll be able to find. No, I've been there and I've done research on it and stuff like that. But reach out to Steve Robinson. He's our editor in chief. Steve Robinson. Yep. Steve Robinson. Okay. And he'll give me information on who's funding you guys. I would be surprised if you did not get a follow-up. Gotcha. I would be surprised. Follow-up on specifically on who is funding you guys. If you ask him a question, he's very responsive. How much do you make working for the Mainwire? I'm not going to disclose that. Why not? Personal information. I didn't ask you.
Every right to protest, I agree. But to threaten and intimidate, I don't agree. Without a doubt, April, that's 100% well said. 100%, April.
Pretty evasive and kind of just stopped the conversation abruptly. You walked away from me. I didn't walk away. Yes, you did. I was over there. You walked over there. So what do you want to know? The camera's going to show it. But what do you want to know? I want to know who's funding you and how much you make. I make a very good salary. Yeah, I bet you do. I do. I make a very good salary. Over 150. Not even close. No, 120. Not even close. 100. Not even close. 50. A little bit more. Yeah. How much more? A little bit more.
That's tell your principal.
That is.
ICE are thugs. ICE are thugs. ICE are thugs. They're J6er thugs. That's who they are. And they're on our payroll.
It's not worth it.
Did you grab my tripod? No, I did not. Somebody did. Somebody grabbed it. Yep. Troy Jackson and Shaw is supposed to. Where? I lost. Anytime you want to disclose that information, I'd be happy to talk to you today. Would you say your name was again? John Featherston. John Featherston. Okay. Yep. Are you a Maine native? I was not born in Maine. Oh, no. Where were you born? Oh, actually, Detroit, Michigan. What brought you to Maine? Maine Wire. Don't talk to the Maine Wire. What brought you to Maine? I'm wondering. Why is that?
Look at you. You look like a fucking skeleton dipped in wax.
Actually, can we have a conversation like a normal?
Sure, if you'd like to, yeah.
What do you think about all this?
I think, anytime a loss of life, it's a tragedy. But I think, I would suggest that we wait to hear all the facts come out. But yeah, absolutely. Anytime there's a loss of life, it's a tragedy. But
well said,
we don't
Grumsky.
know what
Well
happened.
said.
So, that's where I'm at. Where are you at? Sure.
I agree. A loss of life.
Very true, Jim.
Based on current events in the country in the past few months, do not think it's
Number
Agreed
11,
to see.
maybe 12, that these tyrants have murdered. Hold on.
Good
You don't
point,
even know
Eric.
if you're a citizen.
Well
yet.
said, Norma.
No, we don't. We don't know any of the information yet. I agree. But I won't come off of it. Any loss of life is a tragedy. But
Well
what?
said, April. Well said, Norma.
This is where it happens.
Okay, you've made your point.
Pay attention now.
You're not a billionaire. You're not a billionaire. I don't think you are either, though, are you? No. Are you a billionaire? No. Nice to meet you. Why do you work harder? Why the fuck are you here? Why are you here?
To protest burn them.
Asshole. Get the fuck out of here.
Is it me?
This guy will file assault. Oh, no, I hit your parents.
If it was me, that's assault right there.
I would have cleaned this clock right there.
What do you want? I don't want anything other than you not to hit me with your skateboard.
Then why are you getting in people's faces?
I'm not in anybody's face. You got it in my face.
You could have killed him.
Fuck the Maine Wire! Fuck the Maine Wire!
Whose streets?
Our street!
Whose streets?
Our street!
Whose streets?
Our street!
Whose streets?
Again,
Our street!
Why do you work harder?
Why the fuck are you here?
Why are you?
Whose streets?
I'm trying to stop it on the van.
Whose
But
streets?
Our street!
again, my question.
Our street!
Look at this. Red shirts. That looks like a libertarians. It says something libertarians.
Later.
Something like that. You guys, you just happen to have these in your drawer? and you happen to have the banner too? Come on now.
Grosky says, "Can't we all just get along?"
No, no. Not at all.
Terry,
just-
they gave them mods. I'm sorry. They call them mobs, man boobs.
And these signs aren't drawn. These are nice printed. Just what they run, the staples? Throw it through the computer and have them print them out and go run down? No, they're already ready to go. Come on. I mean, this is so...
She says, Tarek, turn your volume down on your phone or whatever. That should help.
Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street!
That's his transportation, Jim. That's how he gets his pick up his groceries. He takes his skateboard with him.
Whose street? Our street! 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 It's perfect. Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street!
Everybody's like,
Our street! Our street!
Yeah, whoever said it a minute ago in the chat. Yeah, they're looking for their 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
Now he's with him. That's his camera / security. And when John put his tripod down, that other guy was supposed to grab it. He didn't grab it. And he pulled it.
I tend to agree with that one for sure, April. Barney, people do not need to be aggressive to get a message through. There is a difference between aggression and passion.
Get over there. What's that? I turned around and there's crowded. Oh yeah, got pushed again.
You'd probably do better if you guys just formed the crowd and just didn't say a word.
Good point.
Did they block the road off up here?
Yeah, and that's a perfect statement.
Yep.
That's correct.
Actually, can I get you the trainer out so I can get it?
No, nobody works anymore. Nobody works anymore. I can see it, boss. I can't come in.
I'm sorry?
You come to make this shit up?
Hey, what have we made up?
Nice to meet you, John. Having a good service for the people bringing this country down.
Oh, how's that? By reporting on this?
Where's your family's immigrant from?
I'm from Ireland.
There you go. How were they treated when they came over?
Not too well, right?
There you go.
So
why are you repeating the offense?
I'm reporting on what you're doing here today, sir. Nothing more, nothing less.
Good morning, Gene. Good morning. Good to have you, my friend.
We stopped talking.
You got it, Gene. We'll be here.
No ice! No USA! No ice! No USA! No ice! No fascist 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 USA! No
Well said, KS. Derek, protesters are writers. I'm going with writers. Jim Tarek, 100% right. Gronsky, Norma. April laughing with K. Chaos. What the F is that big ass thing in this shirt? Holy. Melly Carroll, 100%. Norma Gronsky with the laughter.
So there's some breaking news here.
Okay.
It looks like ICE is causing most traffic stops following deadly shootings in Maine and Texas, sources say. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents have been directed to halt most traffic stops after an ICE officer fatally shot a man in Biddeford, Maine yesterday, a striking reversal in tactics days after a federal agent fatally shot Mexican immigrant during a traffic stop in Houston. So they are no more stops, no more traffic stops. So they're backing down because obviously it looks like these last two were not correct.
It don't take much to send something into a spiral.
A 26-year-old Colombian man, Joan Sebastian Guerrero, was shot and killed in an ICE-involved shooting Monday morning in Maine. For now, official information is scarce, but a CNN review of photos and videos of the scene offers new insight into the timeline of the deadly incident. It's the second fatal shooting involving ICE agents within a week, coming just days after a Mexican man was killed in Houston. The latest shooting happened at this intersection in the city of Biddeford.
Well said, Agent
Guerrero was
Ann. Good
driving
point.
his white Kia. There's still a lot that's unclear about what led to the shooting, but here's what we do know. At 7:17 a.m., a doorbell camera from a nearby home captured the sound of gunshots. You can hear 5 shots fired in just over
Well said, April.
Is that a car?
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said that ICE was conducting targeted surveillance of an illegal alien. Then it says an illegal alien departed the residence in a vehicle. Notably, they don't specify whether that's the same person they were targeting. DHS says that the vehicle attempted to flee the scene, and fearing for public safety, an officer discharged his weapon. The statement did not explain why the ICE officer thought the driver was a threat. U.S. Senator Angus King said DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin told him the man was not the target of the operation. Surveillance video, which appears to have been captured seconds after the shots were fired, shows Guerrero's car entering the intersection and then slowly moving in circles. In another angle, you can see 2 federal agents standing outside the car, as one of them has his hand on the driver's side door, apparently trying to bring it to a stop. Behind the circling car are at least 2 federal law enforcement vehicles blocking the road with their lights flashing, indicating where the shooting may have started. The car keeps spinning for over a minute, making at least 4.5 revolutions. Then there's a cut in the video. When it resumes, you can see agents use one of their vehicles to stop Guerrero's car. We can see in this photo that it was pinned by an unmarked federal law enforcement vehicle. You can also see 4 bullet holes in the car's windshield on the driver's side. 2 federal agents are then recorded outside the car. One of them pulls Guerrero onto the street. He appears limp, and his head hits the ground. Then officers appear to handcuff him. In other footage, one of the agents can be seen wearing a vest that indicates he's an ICE agent, the other a Border Patrol agent. 3 other agents, all wearing ICE vests, could also be seen around the car. Then, at 7:21 a.m., local police arrive on the scene as one ICE agent kneels over Guerrero. By 7:23 a.m., about 6 minutes after the shots were fired, both local and federal officers are seen providing medical care to him.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Real bad. So they've pulled everything back, huh? What comes next?
That's a good question.
What's next? You know, we deal with these things every single day. You know, not just ICE.
Right.
We have all this other stuff going on, and everybody that's out there, every single one of these protesters that we were just watching in Maine, in Texas, wherever. If something goes down and they need help, the same cops ICE agents that they were just out there throwing shit at, whatever, those are the ones they're going to call when they need help.
Yep. True that.
So I don't, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And let's just take away ICE, just regular city cops. When you need help, those are who you call. So why would you be outside throwing and swearing? You got your middle finger up in front of their face, and I just doesn't make sense to me.
It's a good point.
I don't get it. I get it, but it just doesn't sit well with me. So 12 things to cut within your time. Oh, they do. You may have to cut 12 things, they say. Done.
Really?
12 things to cut when you're in retirement. You can read that later, though, Tyson. You're not retired, though. You're doing this, so this is the job now. So no retirement for you, though.
No break for the weary.
No.
No break for the worry. But you know what? I love this because here we can have a conversation. We can talk. We can bounce things off of everybody, and they can bounce things off of us, and we're able to literally gain more information. And, I'm a firm believer, man, the more people that you talk to, the more people have opinions, the more opinions could actually make you learn something or get you to learn something that you never thought of before. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Look what I found.
What's this?
This is a live protest in Maine.
Maine?
Yeah, this is live right now. So.
Who's that guy with that cowboy hat? Is he getting in someone's face?
Oh, yeah, he is. It only takes one guy.
Always. Only takes one person to get everything going. Well said, April. Well said, Barney. I wouldn't try to escape if I was innocent. Well said. Good point, Carol.
You know what kills me? If I bring this back just a tad bit. Oh, maybe we're going to watch this.
What we're going to do now? What we're going to do now? I hope you got that. What we're going to do? You fucking lying sack of bullshit. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen. We are going to picket. We are going to picket. We are going to picket. Yeah, that's what you do. We are going to picket. So I need people with the signs in the back. People with the signs in the back. I see the stop sign. You walk 50 yards down the street, turn around, and then come back this way. We're going to do a good old labor picket. And we're going to be chanting and making noise. So let's do it. So if you're on this side, if you're on my side of the street, you walk up the street. If you're on the double yellow side, you walk down the street. We're going to pick it. Circulate around me. Circulate around me. We're going to pick it. We're circulating. We're going to pick it. Circulate, everybody. We say no to
troublemaker. That's just
yeah.
That's all he's out there for.
Ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We gotta get out of this. Immigrants are welcome here. Pick it around me. Ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We say no to ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We say no to ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We say no to ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We say no to ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here. We say no to ice and fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
See, I couldn't do this because if I was the guy and this dude in the cowboy hat was standing on top of me, we would have a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
I'd probably be on my way to jail because I'd already punched him once or twice. It's useless to me. He's just there to cause trouble. And it doesn't matter what side he's on. It's just
I agree with that.
But what I don't like is they people turn this into, oh, that was it right there. That sign says Gaza, the Gaza Strip. So
Right.
they turn it in from a riot about an ICE officer into the war.
Right.
Two different things, my people. I don't even know where the hell they're at. This is peaceful. This is how it should be, right here.
Yep.
That's all it needs to be. Is that right there? You can say whatever the hell you want to say. I think this YouTube thing's making me lose more hair, dog. Look at it, it's running away, man. It's like, woo! You know, like, Jesus. I'm telling you. These late
Barney
nights-
said, "What a specimen of something sticking the tongue out."
Yeah, I know. Like, what is?
He was trying to get somebody the tongue.
And that's so somebody like that. That's where the cops should come in and remove that person. See you. Have a good day. People are trying to quietly protest and yell stuff, you know, whatever, but you need to go. This poor guy right there. Yeah, it's good, right? A lot of people turned out. So it doesn't matter where we come. Not at all. Like you said earlier, Asian man, we're all immigrants.
Absolutely.
All of us. Look at this way. Come on now.
Melly says, "Damn tensions are high."
Yep. What worries me is the protesters and organizations that are on their way there today.
Right.
So, in a little town like this, there's no room for all these organizations to show up here either. Doesn't look like they have good phone coverage there. Come on, man.
Looks like it's going to rain over there.
Yeah, it's cloudy here too. Just a little bit of hazy sunshine. I was debating on yesterday. I was like, we see how this blows up tonight, meaning last night. I was like, it's only an hour 45 away. I was thinking maybe I'll go up there live, but it was quiet. I mean, they all dispersed yesterday. They were like, well, you know, it was like 5 o'clock. They were like, well, we're gonna go home now. So. So what do you think? You wanna
About what?
jump onto something else, or?
Yeah, let's jump on to something else.
I mean, you
Let's
can only
talk
watch.
about. Let's bring in Nancy back in the equation.
Nancy.
Let's bring Nancy back in the equation and let's talk about something we all want to hear.
This is true. This is true.
Maybe somebody out here has got some information they can like leak out to us.
No, I don't have anything. I have nothing to leak out.
Oh, Lordy.
Let me
Oh,
see.
hey, gotta try, man. Gotta try. Jim, the
Yeah.
American flag upside down really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. It really, truly does.
looking to see if
Well said, Agent Ann. Norma, Miss Barney. Me too, Photon. It is so disrespectful.
Terrible. All of them. You can protest, no problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Just do it right.
Just do it peacefully.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't need to be all this crap to go along with it. You're just showing off. And that's all. It's crazy. Nothing new there. Nothing new there. Just breaks sounds. Nothing new there, nothing new there. So I guessed, but let me put us up here on this stage. There we are, right there. You lean back nice, I'll lean back nice. We'll just relax. I guess would you be surprised, anybody in the chat, would you be surprised if Nancy ended up being somebody that nobody would have ever known about, thought about, even know existed, that had something to do with this case? Would you be surprised or shocked or anything?
Well, what you talking about? If Nancy, I'd be surprised if Nancy,
if what happened to Nancy, let's say it's legitimate, right?
Okay.
Say she was taken, right?
Okay.
Would you be surprised if it was a relation to the family, but nobody that anybody ever heard about? I can only say so much.
Yeah, no, I think I would be surprised if it's not. I mean, I'd just be straight and honest. The only ones I could see it being, I would be surprised if it was. The only other one that has been quiet through the whole thing has been Mr. C. But short of that, I would definitely be surprised if it wasn't somehow affiliated with A and or T. So, and the reason I say that is just because of where everything seems to be pointing at. But C, the only brother, he's been kind of quiet through this whole thing too. So that wouldn't like shock me, but I would be a little bit, because of his military background, I would be a little bit kind of shocked.
So, like I said earlier, stay tuned to tomorrow night because you're going to be shocked. But so there was a lot of things being tossed around yesterday in the panel, just about again, theories and everything. So and this is what I came down with, and I've said it before. So if we poll everybody right now and say, what do we know about the situation? We know only two things. She's missing, and there was a guy on the porch. That's all.
Right.
That's it. Now, if I say, okay, as an officer, your opinion. That's all we know is she's missing and there's a guy on the porch. Now, who out of everybody that's been mentioned, Derek Colella and the other one and this one and Savannah and all of them, who's the only ones that have made themselves look guilty?
A and T.
Didn't take you long to come up with that.
No,
did it?
And to me, LD, A&T and the family, and LD. That's the only ones that I keep coming to my mind because they did it to themselves.
exactly my point. A&T have made themselves look guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's on purpose or by accident, you have made yourself look guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You have brought everybody to say, hey, A&T looks like them. So I think, so we also pulled apart the plea agreement
Mm-hmm.
from Derek Colella last night.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of that plea agreement is sealed. So the plea agreement that I have is only the part that's not sealed.
Right.
So the part that they sealed, what would they be sealing?
They would be sealing
at whatever he told them?
Anything he told them that
So-
could leak up to somebody else. They wouldn't want you to know that.
Exactly. Great point.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were, I mean, you covered this whole thing, and I'm sure everybody's in here has been covered. But I keep going back to the plea agreement because, like I said to you the other day, or I don't even know when I said, and I look at it all the time. It's these are my personal. I look at it all the time. I read it every day, and I keep reading it over because there's a bunch of things in there we talked about that don't make sense, right? And one of the first one to me, does anybody mind? Do you mind if we go over that again?
Go ahead.
I just talked.
Go ahead.
There's a few things that bother me really about that. One, the only thing that needs to be in that plea agreement is whatever he said to them,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever part of the case concerns him, which would be the text messages
Mm-hmm.
and the phone call and the email. There's 4 things. None of that other stuff needs to be in there. No times, no days about Nancy, what she left in her house. That has nothing to do with it.
That is correct.
So then when you look at the stuff and you read down that list, the first thing that you see is on January 4th, so and so, and then around January 2nd, or vice versa, he asked them, did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting for the transaction. Well, hello, guy, you just admitted that it's we, not you. So who's we are waiting, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2, which a lot of people missed, why is he asking for that Bitcoin already? He wouldn't know yet because that hasn't come out yet.
Right.
So he already knew. So if no mention of the Bitcoin yet, how could he already be asking them for it?
He had to know somehow.
Big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Big red flag.
I think we covered that.
We did cover it. I'm just going back over it.
Okay, got you.
It really sits in me because it brings me to my final thing down here. Next, they list all the things that she left behind and what was missing. The Apple Watch. They didn't even mention the Apple.
Nothing. Didn't even put it in the report.
Which
it didn't need to be there anyway, but
no, it didn't. But you wouldn't leave that out.
Not if you're mentioning everything else.
Right. So, and there was no mention of her car keys or anything.
Right.
Which is whatever. I mean, the car keys, the car didn't move anyways. But, so moving down the list, then we get to, he used the voice thing to hide his cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
But then he sent the email with his regular email,
Right.
his name and everything. Idiot. So this brings me to this next big question. which lawyer, attorney, in their right mind would allow him to, I mean, he's in court talking, testify, whatever he did at his hearing. What lawyer in their right mind would let him talk when he's filthy dirty on meth in court? No lawyer would do that.
Right.
You wouldn't allow him to talk and make deals when he was wasted high.
Right.
You would postpone. You would get another date, get him clean, and then he comes back. So this is where my question is. This isn't state court. This is federal court. What judge in their right mind would allow this plea to be written and put together like this?
Nobody that I would know.
There's no information. There's no correct information in there. All that stuff doesn't need to be in there. I don't even think the judge, a federal judge, would probably be the first one to say, he tested dirty today? Oh, no. He's got to go get clean, then come back, and we'll redo this. He needs to be in a normal, understandable state.
Right.
So this is federal court. Right. How do they allow that? Just the plea, not even whether or not he was wasted or not. How can you have a plea like that? It's incorrect. I don't understand that.
The only thing I could think of, and I'm thinking outside the box here, the only thing I could think of that they would allow to take a plea deal, that they would offer him a plea deal under his conditions, would be the fact that they have pretty damaging evidence that he is one of the players involved. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
It also comes up with this. And so he did everything. He did the plea. Whatever's sealed is sealed, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
He has now, per his plea release type thing, he has to go to the rehab. Mm-hmm. He has to. Now, this isn't a lot of people, well, he could just sign himself out. Well, that's incorrect. He can't sign himself out.
No.
And this isn't the neighborhood clinic either. This is a rehab that he's been sent to by the federal court, which is run, and you can't walk in or out. There's guards. It's almost like being in jail at this rehab. There's guards. You can't come in and out. You don't get released until they believe that you can be released. You can't. You have to be clean. With a lot of people that we were discussing, yesterday and the day before, I believe he's in there to be in protective custody because he turned state's evidence.
Correct.
Or federal evidence, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Is it still state's evidence if it's in a federal court?
No. Well, this case is a federal court. The case that he just got done with is federal.
Yeah, so he's just being protected. Now, the one person that I don't know much about, who's the woman that got arrested?
Kayla Day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was her, for some reason?
She had a big record, long, but she always seemed to get out of it. The last thing she had, I think, that put her over the top was she was with LD at a parking lot in Walmart, and they were arrested with narcotics, And I think there was, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think there was also some firearms in there. And so when you have firearms with narcotics, that astrbates the charge.
Trafficking.
And so this time they didn't give her a slack, but then they only issued her 6 months. And that's nothing for her record that she had on her jacket. So she did do a plea deal. We just don't know what it is because they said she did a plea deal.
Was it federal? Was it in federal court?
I could not tell you because I cannot say because I don't remember if that was federal. Does anybody know in the chat? Was that federal for Kayla Day or KD?
And what was her relationship with anybody here?
They were boyfriend and girlfriend with LD, and with she was supposedly had been married to somebody named Wibby. He he went to jail for transporting people across the border, and in one of those transports he hit somebody, and he ended up unaliving an older lady. And he went to prison for it. And then supposedly LD and KD started hooking up. And they were, for better lack of words, boyfriend and girlfriend because Wibby was out of the picture in prison. So that's where that all goes. Now, LD had stated that when he did his interview that he didn't know who she really was, that he hadn't talked to her for a long time, only them to pull up records that he just got another arrest with her like 8 months prior to the interview with Brianna Whitney.
I'm going to federal court in Arizona, trying to look up.
Thanks, Jim. Jim said, yeah, it was weapons as well. So I always believed there was a woman involved, and I always thought it was her, in my opinion, just an opinion. I had no fact, just an opinion with reading all that information. And then I always thought that it could have been him involved as well because of what he did with his interview, how he just basically made him look like the suspect. I think he's a person of interest where the FBI needs to talk to him again. But I think that, and then of course, everybody in that whole crowd, they were touched by Mojito at one point in time or another. And what I mean touch is that he had his tentacle house. Mojitos was the DJ and was a promoter for DC and T. And then KD also did tattooing at his venues for Mojito. And then on top of that, you would have known that KD would have been around because they were boyfriend and girlfriend. So he would have gone to where she went to.
Was Kayla Kayla?
Kayla. She's got a Facebook, and I think she's got a Instagram.
Because I just don't know why I really didn't get into her, like look her up and all that stuff.
We did a thing on her on her affiliation with Mojito, all that those fetish balls that they were doing, those things she was doing, tattooing in there. It's in her Facebook and her Instagram.
Yeah, I see her now. Kayla Noel.
That's it. That's
32.
it.
Total bond $0. Arrest. He was arrested late on February.
Somebody said here they thought that. Let me read it real quick. A to Z said, I read she was moved to the state in a facility, Florence, Arizona.
Well, somebody was questioning yesterday. Somebody was questioning on one of the lives why something about why did they hold her so long?
Because she was that we believe that it was possible that she pleaded out and they wanted to put her in this place more for a protection than anything
Yeah,
else.
exactly. That's what they had said. Why did
Yeah.
she plea out and give them information?
Well, that's where a lot of us are believing that that's happened. I'm not, none of us really know, but a lot of us are believing that that's exactly why they put her in there, minimal charge, but so they can work the rest of that information. Because when she went in, when she got arrested, okay, the very next day is when LD got arrested, and she got arrested on the 11th, and LD got arrested on the 12th.
13th.
So she got arrested on the 12th, and LD got arrested on the 13th, right? Friday the 13th. So the idea was that it was probably pretty damn sure to get a warrant signed by a judge all in one day. That shit don't happen very quickly. And to get that done, A, you needed probable cause, and B, you needed something, and that something, well, they said what it kind of was, to be honest. When you read between the lines of what Nanos had said, he talked about them serving that warrant, or serving that, that warrant, search warrant, and what it took to get it. He didn't say the names, but he said the addresses of where they went to. He said the address of where they went to, and then he said that they also served him. That was to the mom, and they served a warrant to Culliver's. Well, there was only one person that got served in Culliver's. So he pretty much said who it was, and he pretty much said when he was being interviewed, and I don't know if he meant to do this, but he also said that they used audio, phone audio. They used drones to get their information. They used just a lot of different things, technical things that they use to get this information to show the judge what they had, and that was good enough to get a warrant. So he not once said LD's name, but he inferred it all in by what he said, where they lived, where LD was when he got served the search warrant, which was at Culliver's, where he was also, he had mentioned that this guy was someone who had been charged for transporting people across the border, which wasn't Wibby. Wibby did it as well, because that's what he went to prison for unaliving somebody in that process. So committing a crime within a crime. But then he said that he also had charges of that nature, and that he had there was a lot of stuff there that was enough to get that warrant. He never said his name, but he did reference him by all the details that surrounded right towards him. So we just go ahead.
Was there ever a connection between Luke and Derek at all?
The only connection would have been with Luke and Derek was that Mojito would have been the introducer, the promoter. And the reason why is because Mojito was Derek's manager and was promoter, and also was T's promoter and manager. So he would set up all the gigs in Tucson, in LA, in Phoenix, etc., and also in the venues that Mojito was going to be playing at, because he was a DJ. So the connection would have been that they would have at some point probably crossed information with each other or cross paths, because when they did these, Mojito did these things, and this is more. This now more is just you gotta think outside the box and think how it all fits. But you had Mojito doing his thing. You had Kayla being there. You had, Kayla's going to be there. LD's going to be with her because that was his girlfriend. Okay, and if DC is playing at one of the venues, well, now you have where that possible interaction is at, where they had that bumping of meeting each other at some point. Did they know each other? I don't know, but I know at some point, I don't know. I feel like at some point they would have made that connection somewhere. That's where I get that
music,
because of the music, and that's where my connection is with DC and T and A for that matter. They would have to known who he was because they had the same manager. And so when they had the same manager, so when T would go play, well, you knew his wife was going to go. She goes to watch him play at times, so she would have went. And being that that's his manager, she would have known who his manager was. So that's right. That's the we did a thing on the tentacles of all of who Mojito touched, how he interacted everybody, like his tentacles reached out, and how they could have had that affiliation and communication. Dude, it's about everybody that's in that big circle. Even Kiki up there with her boyfriend who was a photographer. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Kiki would have been there because she was seen at some of this fetish ball that I think Sleuth or Monk, I think it was Sleuth or Monk had found pictures in Instagram photos on Mojito's site that literally showed the connection there. That they were at that ball, Kiki and the photographer. So once again, you go, well, they were there. Maybe they crossed paths with everybody else because they did say that Kiki was friends with Kayla Day. Follow me? Yep. They all intertwine in some way, shape, or form. You can put them all that they somehow possibly ran into each other in some capacity. Whether or not that's enough to be affiliated or acquainted enough to trust in this type of thing, I don't know. But I guarantee you there is that's what I was able to put together. I'll just put it at that.
So, I have to stress this again. And whether or not you guys got to take a nap first or not, but you all, everybody, and tell everybody that you can possibly tell, you have got to watch us on Patriot Pride tomorrow night. You guys have. I don't care if you have to go out and buy a goddamn new TV. You have got to watch this episode. You are going to be blown away. What was put together last night is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I wish I could share it with you, but I can't.
You're fine.
Because Patriot Pride asked us not to, and I mean we're talking big stuff. We even had to get Melly to come in on the panel to translate for us. So, man, I'm telling you, dog, you're gonna be just like, what the? I swear to God. Tell your wife you possibly might be yelling tomorrow night, but I'm telling everybody, you guys, you gotta be there. You're gonna be blown away. It's absolutely, yeah.
This is tonight?
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, okay.
Yeah. No, I need sleep now.
So
God
so
damn.
that was the whole. Why were you asking about Kayla Day and etc.?
No, I was just curious. I never really got into her or him, really. I didn't. I was always focused on family and Derek. I never really went down the Luke Daly thing. I just never did. You think do you think he's involved yourself?
He's my number one guy.
He's your number one? Yeah.
He was my number one guy. And DC, T, and A are the next people in line on my list. And I don't know if A had anything to do with it, but I think she would have known what her husband was up to. That's the only reason I put her in that equation. But this could have well been something orchestrated by literally KD, LD, T, and DC. I mean, I always said there was 3 to 4 people. I've always said that. There was 3 to 4 people, in my opinion, that pulled this off. And I could give 3 solid reasons why those 3 people were there. The fourth one would have been just in case, watcher for traffic, that type of thing. Not just a person in the car, but a watcher for traffic. That would have put me at 4. But I always thought it was 3 to 4 people, literally. As a matter of fact, Gronsky even thought the same thing. So I'm thinking, really, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as I'm sitting here and running it through my head, the only reason that I would even suspect A and T really is because, like we said earlier, they've just made themselves look guilty. I don't have any solid fact that says, oh yeah, it was Annie or T. I mean, I don't. Nobody does.
No,
it's just
they
made.
I don't have anything other than to put myself in the law enforcement mind and see where all the pieces are fitting and where all the pieces and what is being said and what is being not said and the things that have been done and not done. As in law enforcement, I'm putting all my chips, like if I was investigating this case, that's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. I am at literally those people being involved. I just don't have that single one thing. There was a point where I said, if I could, and I told the chat this, I said, if I could just find a connection between DC and A, it would be so nice. That would be the clincher. And voila, here that the next day I ended up finding Mojito and how he connected to everybody. So yeah, there's a lot there, but I don't have any like factual, because no one does. All I have is instinctual because of my background in law enforcement to be able to kind of navigate through all that shit, and then finally get to the point where it looks like, man, this is the only common sense thing to me that would make sense, because otherwise everything else is just a freaking coincidence. And that's a coincidence that it lasts a lifetime, man. There's too many coincidences. So that's where I was at, but
So
go ahead.
The connection, if we follow this path, the connection for A and T, because he's part of it, just because, for me, would now be the plea agreement.
Right.
He didn't know about the freaking Bitcoin yet.
No.
So that's the connection for me. So he had to talk to them or communicate somehow with them for him to even know.
Absolutely.
Right? So either he had to. Like, I mean, there's no other way. There's no other way. He would had to have spoken to
He would have had to have said. He would have had to have said at some point when he said, did you get the Bitcoin? And then he said, we are waiting on our end for the transaction.
Who's we?
He had to have known that there was going to be or was a Bitcoin involved, because the Bitcoin, that letter that was sent was on the 2nd. Okay. His communication was on the 4th. Okay. They didn't release that part. They did not release some of that, everything that was said. He would have had to have known to call them for the Bitcoin. And what threw me off was, or what made me think was, everything that was addressed on that letter, when you read that letter, when they finally gave us what was in it, some of it always said that, why were you calling them when everything was really addressed to Savannah? So why would you call them unless you knew this was going to be a play? In my opinion, this was going to be a play. He knew ahead of time. He had to have known. And the theory of
he had to.
He looked up the phone numbers. Look, I'll just be nice and say, in my opinion, I think he's too stupid to even look up a number, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not being mean. I'm just calling it the way I see it.
He is stupid.
So the reality is that I asked myself, where else could he have gotten that number? Hey, Mojito, what's this number again? What you got going on? Oh, just want to see. I need to give him a call. Or in the combination of him interacting in the music, because they both had the same manager, they ran into each other and they said, hey man, take my number down in case we ever, get a hold of you, if I need to get a hold of you, vice versa, because they had the same manager. It would make sense why he would have their phone number. It really would. And what bothers me the most out of all that is not one time did he ever be in DC. Not one time did he ever they never said who was the 9-second phone call made to, because he made a 9-second after he sent that message. 3 minutes
one
later.
Person.
You're right. Well, there is only one person. And I think that if they had put that out there, if they thought they were getting a lot of slack now, they definitely would have got more slack. You follow me? They would have got hammered even more.
But do you know, this is going to aggravate me. I got holes in my hat.
Yeah, I see it.
This is aggravating.
Now you do.
I don't know what it's going to aggravate me. I'm going to freak out. Are we thinking of the same person? And the only person that I could see him calling, and I'm going to say it, I mean, I don't know how, is their son.
Yes, that was talked about. That
it's the only person it could be.
Yes, that was talked about only because that's the play of how he could have been involved. But I mean, he's like 12, 13 years old.
Right, but he has the cell phone. So he waits. How long did he wait? It said he waited a few minutes for them to get back to him, didn't hear back from the 10th. So he called a third family member, right? He didn't call Cam.
He didn't say a third family member. They said he called another family member.
Yeah, another third.
They just don't know which one.
Another family member.
Right.
He didn't call Savannah.
No.
He didn't call Cameron.
No.
So the only person left for him to call is the son. That's why it was a 9-second phone call. Is your mother or dad home? No? Okay, bye. Click.
That's a possibility.
Or, sorry, I had the wrong number, man. Sorry, bye. Click. Because he didn't want to talk to a mine. It's the only person that's available.
But even then, so he calls the son. Let's say he does say that. Let's say that he says, oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number, and hangs up. What would that have to do anything with his son?
What do you mean?
Well,
Like,
if he called his son, what would that? I mean,
I think he's just trying to find Annie and Tommaso.
right.
Hey, is your mother or dad home?
Yes.
No. I'm a friend of your mother or dad. I
Yeah.
need to talk to them. I texted them, nobody answered. I figured I had this number for somebody, blah, 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 blah. So that brings me to the Mojito. Does Mojito know the son's number?
I would say he would know. He would know A&T, and I don't know if he would know the son if they would ever brought him to something like that, which I don't think they would have.
Right. So that's like, how would he get the kid's number?
Right.
Which would be from the website that he claims, but
possibly. But I think, Chris, I think to me it was more logical for him to do that 9-second phone call, as in, hey, did you get the Bitcoin? Why are you calling me? Did you get the Bitcoin? No, don't call me again. We did a test on that, and that was 9.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So to me, because dumbass possibly over there did not really understand, like, wires are being listened to, phone taps and whatever. He didn't get it. And it's going to be a record that's going to show there was a call made, right? So, hey, did you get the Bitcoin? Why does he say Bitcoin? Because he just sent you a message 3 minutes ago saying, hey, did you get the Bitcoin? We're ready for the transaction. And he's all fidgety, probably because he's on his math. He's all fidgety, and he's like, man, I'm not hearing nothing. And in his mind, it's like it's been hours when it's only been 3 minutes. Right? Because he's anxious. He wants to know. He wants his payday. He makes his call. Hey, did you get the Bitcoin? Why are you calling me? Did you get it? No. Don't call me again. That's 9.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So for me, I always felt like trying to figure out what could have been the probable scenario was that could have been exactly or something in that realm that could have fit that narrative. It made sense to me by far. And that's why he was dragged into this, because now they got the number who he called. They're just not saying who he called. And yeah, it could be the kid because, he's underage and they're not going to say his name. But I think there's more to it than that. And I think literally he called that family. You got to remember when Savannah came out and did her little, when her and her siblings came out and did that little thing about talking about the mom and how nice she is and pleading on their mercy, basically. When she did that on, I believe it was the 4th. Right after the 4th, and this is what gets me, right on the 4th, that's when he made that call. But what's always bothered me is that the very first note that they sent, right, that said, we want $4 million by the 5th, and if you don't pay that $4 million by the 5th, we want $6 million by the 9th.
Yep.
Okay. That second letter that came in, or the second note, which is the same note, really, in all reality, it was the same note they said. But that second part that came in said, to Savannah, your mom, basically telling her your mom has passed.
Right.
We are sorry. We didn't intend for this to happen. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it. They didn't ask for any Bitcoin or nothing. They just basically said, hey, just let you know, she's no longer with us. We buried her with nature or whatever. Why? That's why I give those two notes so much credibility, because they didn't ask for any money at that point. And in their mind, they probably thought, how the fuck are we going to get the money now that we can't show a proof of life? Because anybody who knows about anything with ransom knows you got to have a proof of life.
Mm-hmm.
So what always stuck with me was the fact that Savannah literally it was addressed to her. So why in the hell are you calling two of the people that have no money? No freaking money. Now I'm sure he would have known their status, why they're playing at gigs, extra money, teacher, that type of thing, conversations maybe. You never know. But my point is, I really believe that it is very possible that that's why he called him, is because he already knew that individual. They already talked. You know what I mean? That was already done and delivered. That was the plan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Savannah, if he had called Savannah and said, well, the letter addressed Savannah. Well, why would the letter address Savannah? You hear all this stuff about, well, it's possible that, the person had an infatuation with, and this, that, and I don't buy none of that bullshit. I just don't buy it. I think this is more simpler than that. I think the simplicity of it is that it was just something that they were going to do for money that went wrong. And in their mind, they're thinking, we're never going to see this money because now how do we show a picture of her alive? Well, they can't. So, and then here's the other thing real quick. On the 6th, they gave them till the 9th for that second $6 million, right? They gave them till the 9th. They did not even wait till the 9th to see if it would kick into their bank, into the wallet. They didn't even wait. They immediately called or immediately sent that note on the 6th saying she is no longer alive. Why? Why would you send a letter after you done told them if you don't pay it by the 5th, it's going to go up to $6 million. You're going to pay that by the 9th or she's done. They didn't even wait till the 9th to see if it was in there. They immediately called right back, or not call, but send a note right back on the 6th saying she's done.
They didn't feel bad. Sorry, they didn't feel bad. They're not.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it makes
because
sense.
if it was me, I'm thinking if that was me, I would have been going, well, let's just see if they deposit that money by the 9th, because at that point they did not know that she had passed. So let's just see if she does it. I mean, she's gone. We know she's gone. So let's just see if she puts it in there. Maybe we'll get lucky. They didn't even wait to that.
No.
They just immediately sent it on the 6th saying she's done. She's gone. And there's nothing you could have done about it.
No.
And that tells me at that point is when they realized that they didn't have anything to work with anymore. And so it was like we lost it all. She somehow we became unalive and we shit the stick, man. We blew it.
Screwed up.
And so that's the only reason I'm thinking that this was involved. But the connections, they're there. The connections of knowing each other, they're there. LD and KD and Mojito. And Mojito is just the bloodline. And what I mean by the bloodline, I mean the tentacles. He just brings everybody together because of what he does. And everybody seems, for whatever reasons, for either reasons of promoting their music or because she's a tattooist and an ear piercing person that does that at his venues. And then KD because that's her boyfriend. And then Kiki and her photographer because they were spotted there, seen in pictures. All of them seem to fit that narrative. It's just which one is going to be, I don't know. But I do think that's why I'm so big on, and I hate to say it, but I really think it's closer to home than we all think, but I could be wrong.
Who is, let me see, Daisy Sunshine. Did you hear the plea agreement? Were you on any of the channels for the plea agreement?
You asking me?
No, AZ Sunshine.
Got you.
Because if not,
where did I miss the memo?
yeah. So I was like, I can read her the thing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I got you. He called a third member. I swear, our wonderful, transparent Sheriff Kokov said it was one of the people he texts. Yeah, he texted two people, and then they contacted a third person, a third family member, but they didn't say which one. They just said a third family member. My take was always they didn't want to say if it was A or T, especially if it was T. I could see them calling A because that's the sister. T has nothing to do with anything. I mean, that guy is just totally like, he's a Sicilione, for God's sake.
That's why I had always questioned, why the hell did he text Tommaso and Annie? Why wouldn't you just text the one that could get you the money?
Yes, correct.
Annie's the connection to whatever you need. Tommaso's just the brother-in-law. I mean, I could see why he would text her. I mean, they're married, so he's gonna. Shit, I got this text and blah blah blah. I could understand that, but you're texting the wrong person, my brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me read what April got. DC calls T, and I do think he called T, not Annie. So do I. Charges were pressed. Who pressed charges, T or Savannah? Al says AZ, it was a plea agreement, I believe, called A and T, and then another family member. They're just not telling you who that other family member. Some have suspected it was a son. Some have suspected that it was actually T, but they didn't want to really say that it was T because then talk about everybody coming out of the woodwork, basically hammering that family would have even been twice as worse. So by just saying it was another family member, well, technically it was another family member that they called because there was only one call that came in,
And that's the thing. They didn't seal his phone number. So technically, we could, but you grab his phone records and you would absolutely know who the third that
absolutely. Well, they know.
Right. I wonder if they sealed that part.
I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, they know who that third member obviously is. They checked the phones. They took everybody's phone. So they know who made a call. They know, look, I don't think that it could have been a burner, but I believe that third call that came in, they know who got that call, and that's why they're piecing that. That could have been too, Chris. This was early, right? Right when it all happened. Then what happened after that? They kept his car for what? 42 days. 42 freaking days.
And 5 visits to the house.
5 visits to the house. That's not normal.
And right, but here's the other thing. Is there anybody in this chat? Well, there better be, or you, Doug, that can answer this question. How many bags of evidence did they take out of Nancy's house?
Nancy's, the only thing I saw was there was a box that came out, a metal box, and there was, I found a mistaken, there was I want to say like 3 bags. One
bag from Nancy.
Okay, 3 bags from Tommaso's.
Full.
Full. 3
2 hands. 2 hands.
Yes.
What the hell did they take from there?
Yes, I don't know.
And for them to keep that car for 42 days and to tell us, or for us to find out that they had to send it to the dealer to be put back together. What the hell did they do? They took the whole car apart.
Absolutely. And that's what they would do. But
for you to go that deep, they must have found something, some trace of something.
That's what I was saying in our lives that we had did before, and the fact that they found something that said, go back and look and see if you can find this at the house.
Yeah.
They come back, all of a sudden, a little bit later on, They found something. Okay, now look for see if you can find this at the house. You follow me? That's what I'm thinking, because it kept leading to something else. And after 5 visits, my God, it's like,
And
then even around the house.
It was Lumenthal. What is the name? Is that right?
Yeah. The blue light.
5 times.
Yes.
That was it every single time.
Yes.
Because you could see it. It was
Yes.
just blue in the house, right?
Yes.
So you knew what they were using the light. So
yes,
that's 5 times. And what's crazy, I think Nancy's house, I think it was once. So how do I see this? So here's Nancy's house and here's Annie. Which one is the crime scene? Remember, Nancy, right. Annie. Which one's the crime scene? It's Annie's house.
Yeah.
That's the crime scene.
Yeah, because there's more.
This
is where everything was placed.
Everything was placed there. And the crime scene was at Annie's house.
Well, and most of the
bags all fits.
Right. And most of the bags were taken from Annie's house.
But what kills me is throughout all that, the 5 visits, the bags, the car missing, nobody went and sat in front of that house like we did Nancy's.
Right.
Why?
Or nobody sat that we knew about.
Well, I mean, like none of the streamers were there.
That's right.
For a constant. I mean,
because the streamers that were there, and like us that were online, we were under the impression that's the crime scene.
That it was Nancy's.
But in all that time, they were out there. They could have been out there just watching everything as well, and we just didn't see it because everything was over here. It was like, look over here, not over here. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. For them to look that much, I mean, what other thing did they do? They took Nancy's car for 20-some days. Literally. Before they brought it back. That doesn't happen by accident.
No, I mean, shit. If you're looking, okay, we'll seize the car, we'll bring it to the station, we'll put it in the garage, we'll look at it, we'll do the blue light, we'll look for some hair specs. You're not tearing a whole goddamn car apart. If you don't see blood or her hair or anything, but listen, I'm not sure you can go off of just her hair. How many times has she been in the car?
Correct.
You could be, we found her hair. Great. What does that prove? She's probably been in the car 1,000 times.
Right.
And what was I going to say? I don't even remember now. I forget now. But yeah, so it's just it's crazy. It's just everything is crazy. And then you think you guys think this is crazy? Wait till tomorrow. I'm telling you, Dee, you're gonna be blown the hell out of the water. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little bit of a nugget because, hey, look, it's 12:55. I am gonna end this at 1 because I am like falling asleep. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna end it with a little nugget. And it's nothing crazy, but we were able to locate A&T. We know where they are.
Somebody knew already where they were at, Chris.
Right, but we have proof.
Okay. What I'm saying is somebody called into I think it was Dogs Gone Live when he was still here and everybody was asking where were they at, and a person called in and said, yes, I know exactly where they're at. Mm-hmm. And he said, don't publish it, don't put it anywhere. These people should not be harassed, yada yada. This is what Dog Gone Live did.
Yeah.
And they never did. I never heard where, but I always thought, and just for whatever it's worth, I always thought it was freaking one of the rentals that Cameron owned, is what I always thought. But that was, I mean, maybe that's too easy. But I always thought that's what, you know, she was probably staying there.
And I thought I heard that he owned a few places in Arizona,
He
but
does.
I was unable to find anything.
Really?
Yeah, but but who am I? I just looked, but I heard it the other day too, that he had multiple rentals in Arizona, or a few. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, well, he did. He had some apartments and some houses in Tucson that he rented, and that's why he was in town during that time.
And that's another thing. He beat Savannah here.
Yeah.
Which was doable. She's in New York. He's in Maine. I mean, we're looking at the same, whatever. But I looked on Flight Radar because I have a subscription to Flight Radar, and I could not find a plane going from anywhere in his area to Arizona a couple days before, a few days before, the same day, the next day after everything happened, whatever. So I couldn't find a plane, but that doesn't mean anything. But then I'm saying to myself, if I was him and I needed to get somewhere quick, because my mother's missing, being the important person he was in the Air Force,
right.
Yo, whatever Air Force base is there,
right.
Yo, I need a flight, dude. Can you get me to Arizona tonight?
Private jet.
Possible. So that's what I had thought, because he was definitely there before her, because she even admits it on TV when she says, when I got to Annie and Tommaso's, I met, Cameron and them there. So he was already there before her.
Right.
But we know that.
And yet she, when she got the call, her husband had just walked in the door. And when she got the call, she said, I was on a plane that very same day going back, is what she said. So he had to really been on that plane, private jet or something, straight shot to get there before her. If you think about it, because she said that. She said when Annie called her and said, hey, she's missing, blah, 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 blah. She goes, what do you mean? And this and that and the other. And then her husband walked in and she said, and then my husband walked in and we were talking and she goes, and that night got on a plane and I was off to Tucson, off to Arizona. So that would explain a lot about how fast he had to get there, since he was there before her.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this nugget that you give, I don't know. I don't know whose house. They never said, because I remember I was happened to be watching that stream when they said, hey, we know where she's at. We've seen him. And then he said, well, don't put it out there on my channel, because I don't want anybody to know. That's their privacy. This is when he was what I call playing good cop, bad cop, want information, but hey, you know what I mean. Read between the lines. And so I was like, damn, like I didn't, it didn't bother me any, but I heard him say that and I thought, okay, well, somebody found it, but I thought somebody would have put it out there a lot sooner. Apparently not, because I never knew where she was at.
Well, that's the other thing, like Doug just said. He is a pilot. Mm-hmm. He may own his own plane. Who the hell knows? Could have flew his own ass there.
No doubt. Or could have rented a plane.
I need that plane right now. See you later. But you know what I mean? Who the hell knows? But I mean, that's why he was there first, obviously. Or he was already there.
Right.
And, maybe he was staying in what the hell is the name of that pool house? The Casita? The Casita.
The Casita.
Jesus Christ. You think after all these weeks and months I could remember the goddamn say that? But
what's that?
Maybe he was staying in there in the Casita.
They said it was like someone had been living in there.
Yeah. And she didn't leave it messy.
No, she was a
No way.
She was a
You would think she was married to a military man.
Yeah.
Drop the quarter on her sheet and bounces up.
Right?
I mean, honestly, that casita wouldn't look like that. She probably would have crawled her ass over there to clean it or do whatever.
Well, that's why I had a hard time with the blood droppings on the front of the porch. You know, when they said, well, how long do we, that could have been there for a while. She would have never let that stay there for a while. You know what I'm saying? If that had happened to her, like some were suggesting weeks ago prior to the incident, she would have cleaned that up. She would have never left it like that. That wasn't her nature. Her nature was she wanted to keep
slept.
Exactly.
Should have been up. Look it when they showed that video of her in her bedroom, that was like 3 a.m. when she was making her bed for Savannah on the vid. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, hell man, she was up like, oh, let me get this place off. That shit was. It had creases down the bottom where it was tucked in, like you could stick. Yeah, come on now. Nobody like that would ever leave the other place like that. Nobody.
No, without a doubt, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Nobody. So, but hey, listen. Don't forget, guys. Tomorrow night.
I'll remind her tomorrow again.
Patriot Pride. It starts at 10 o'clock, and they do their opening thing and all that stuff. So we won't all be on, and we won't be talking about that till probably around 10:30ish. So, but get on first. Get on at 10 o'clock. Listen, and then I'm telling you, you think your eyes are open now? Woohoo! Wait till tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm so excited for you guys.
All right.
I'm not excited for me because we have a meeting today. We're all getting back together today to go over the final stuff, and it's at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my God!
What the hell are you guys doing to me? Well, Patriot had something to do. I work the night thing, so I'm not home until like 11, whatever, 11:30, 12. So I'm like, all right, 1 a.m. works, but I'm going to bed now. Shit.
Go to sleep, man. I'll stay on with my channel for a little bit.
Well, when I end this, you'll end.
Will I end?
Yeah, you will. So you'll have to just fire up another one.
No. We'll just call it then.
Yeah. You're going at 5, right?
Yeah. I'm going to just go at 5. No, yeah, I'll go at 5.
What are you going to cover?
I don't know. Sure. Maybe another scientist or something.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe we'll talk about this.
Yeah. Did you check for anything for Elena this morning?
Nothing on Elena. Nothing on Joanna. Nothing on Kinney. Nothing on the 16. Very, very minute, if anything, on the 16 kids in Ohio. The Tepe case, waiting for that. He's been charged, and now it's just waiting for the court date there. I think I'm probably going to go maybe this weekend up to Columbus and do a live from there, from that house where the kids were taken.
Nice. They got a phenomenal Harley Davidson shop in Columbus.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. I went there on vacation, and whose boat's there? The replica, Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, yeah.
So where that boat is, and then there's like a bridge over the water, and you go over that bridge in the Harley Davidson. It's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. Wow. I spent more money in the Harley Davidson store than I did on vacation.
Let me tell everybody, hey, Doug, have a good one, my friend. Good to have you. Oleg, see you guys today at 5. Annie, thank you so much for being here. Barney, thank you so much for being here. Doug, that's nothing. Did like 50 plus hours last couple of days. Sikorsky first live went till almost 7 a.m. Wow.
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
Genie's maybe playing in the LLC. That's a very good possibility, Gene. Marianne, and that was his childhood home. Why wouldn't he stay in a room? That is very true. Any rest well, Chris. 2C, some people work with not a watch. Some people will not watch. Well, that's all right. We can watch it later. You guys can watch it later. Carol.
Call
10
in sick then.
Call in sick, Chris says, Tuesday. Oleg, I did yesterday, I slept all day. I may have to take a nap, which I never do during day. Annie, hi, Millie. Doug says, I do have some extra info on Nolan Dog. I will get with you, my friend. I will definitely get with you. Thank you so much. Barney, what time Eastern or what? It'll be Eastern time, I believe, right, Chris?
10 o'clock Eastern time.
10 o'clock Eastern time, Barney. Marianne, hi. If he was there, how would he not hear anything? That's a good point. That's a very good point. Remember, she was much younger than he didn't use a stick. Annie, maybe before she went to dinner and didn't realize it. Possibility. Barney, maybe flight or plane was in CG name. That is a pretty good guess. Plus, you got to remember, Savannah's husband has connections as well, you know, because he used to be in the government. So, you know they got to have corrections. All right, everybody. Everybody else, Groundsky, I think it's going to be a private jet. I think you might be right.
Probably. Or he
Melly, Bammy, hello. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me and Chris. Appreciate you all. I will see you guys at 5 o'clock. Be here, be on time. And with that, simplify. It's all common sense, everybody. Everything is common sense. Simplify, everybody.
It's a shame I didn't have any common sense. All right, y'all. Thank you for being.
Hey,
whatever. I'm naked. I don't like it.
Dude, it looks good though. It looks good.
What does the chat think? Goatee or no goatee?
I say no goatee. I don't even like this little bit that I got right here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think you look great, man. I'd be like that all the time because normally I am like that all the time.
I know, right? You got to shave for the next week. Listen, if you want to stay employed here, you have to come in here clean shaven. You know, I'm not sure. So yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thank you all.
God bless everybody. This is a great chat, great time, great fellowship, and hey, I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you, Chris.
Me too. I enjoy you. Next Tuesday, 10 a.m. We'll be here
next Tuesday, absolutely. But we will be here tonight, or not tonight. Oh, yeah. We'll be here at 5 tonight and tomorrow on Paycheck Friday. There you go.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. Hey,
thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you to all the amazing mods, both sides. Great. Doug, thank you for being with me. And yeah, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you later. I'm going to sleep now. Goodbye.
Later, my friend.
So, yeah. Have a good day, everybody.
We'll
talk.
Buddy.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.